You know what? That would help if I would unmute my microphone. I was talking into nothingness there. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to what is going to be a very interesting 2.4 hours here at Silverstone Race Circuit for what is the relaunch of the Jimmy Broadbent powered by oNiD Racing Community. With me alongside me in the comments box is two drivers, one of which is currently going to start qualifying. But we have the boss man himself. Johnny, good evening.
Good evening, Aidan. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very well, actually. Really good. Looking forward to this. The relaunch of the Jimmy Broadbent events. And there was only one way we could relaunch it on ACC, and they've been so popular. And that is a 2.4 race, and make it multi-class and throw in a bit of weather at the same time. So yeah, you know, gone full oNiD on the guys tonight.
We have had wet conditions in the practice session before qualifying. They have just gone to qualifying, and we will jump to the track very in a moment. But I just want to say hello to everyone watching this evening. Luke Sherlock in the chat, Julian Reinards, that's a name we haven't seen for a while. Good evening, sir. In the BMW, though, I can see you're racing tonight, the BMW M2 Cup car. Yeah, it's going to be a wonderful race. 3 separate classes. The BMW Cup car, GT4, GT3, and of course the GT3 split into the Pro GT3 and AM GT3s. So yeah, 48 teams, 48 cars on track at the minute. So it's going to be a very, very fun evening. Let's jump to the track and see how they're all getting on as we join. Just as the qualifying session has just started, and cars yet to set times on a track that is dry, overcast at the minute. But as I said, rain has come, and I'm sure rain will come again.
I hope so. I really do hope so. Obviously, the GT3s are out on track for the first 10 minutes. So the GT3s, both Pro and AM classes are out doing their laps, and then it will be the GT4 class that go out for the second set of 10 minutes, and then it will be finished up with the lovely M2s. And a big shout out to all the M2 drivers, because it's not the quickest of cars, and definitely not going to be quick with all these GT3s and GT4s flying around them. So they're a brave bunch, the M2 lot.
They are indeed. Slowest class of them all, but nonetheless making a good showing here. And indeed, going to be swamped by everyone, bless them. So I think even though they're going to be racing each other, they're going to be needing eyes in the back of their heads as well, taking note of what's coming up behind them. But some familiar names tonight. Brunix here from the Dutch Endurance team starting a lap in that orange liveried Ferrari there as they go through turn 1, and some other names as well, such as Turton Janek in the GT4. Zach Silver also with us in his ever faithful Audi as well, as he also is in that Splatoon liveried car. If that's a bit of a throwback Splatoon on the Nintendo Wii, isn't it? It was that livery there. Sends me back to lots of fun family nights of dismay and family breaking moments. It's almost like Uno, those games. Anyway, and yeah, so Zach Silver, and also a good friend of oNiD and familiar name to the Tourenwagen Championship at the minute in oNiD Racing, Daniel Hearn, in the quite aptly named team Return of the Mac in the McLaren Racing GT3 car. So lots of familiar names, lots of new names as well, as we've seen. And yeah, at the minute GT3s take the track and all set their fast times.
Yeah, it's great to see so many familiar names coming back. Obviously, quite a few oNiD teams in there as well, and good to see some new faces as well. And this was what the whole relaunch was about: is getting to, you know, bring new people in, make people that might not be aware that Jimmy Broadbent has a community. Obviously, we finished our events a few weeks ago at the end of the 2.4 series, and obviously we run AC Wednesdays as well, and we do some great racing on AC as well. And there is an AC launch event coming up on Wednesday with myself doing the stream for that one, so that one will be streamed as well with 2 of Jimmy's cars knocking around Donington for the evening for 90 minutes. It's the Praga and the MX-5, and that's full already, so that was really good to see that so many people are getting involved in that one. Still time for a commentator spot, Aiden, if you want it.
Oh, don't tempt me. When is it? Tell me. Wednesday, did you say?
Wednesday.
I might be free.
There we go.
Oh,
There we go.
You had me. You got me. You got me. Fisher can, reeling me in. It's Wednesday. It's Prague. It's MX5. It's Donington.
We need some. It's going to be exciting, and we need some enthusiasm in that commentary box. And I'm not it.
Oh dear Lord. Even if I'm full of cold, and I apologise for coughing down your headsets and speakers this evening, folks. But nonetheless, it's a bit of energy, a bit of fun. Nonetheless, it's all good.
It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. It will be really, really good, and it's great. There will be an announcement coming later on this evening, when the race has begun and we get to that lull in the first kind of after a half hour or so. I will be announcing a new league that's coming to Jimmy Broadbent. So there is that to look forward to. So I hope everyone's ready and prepared for that one. There is a new team involved, obviously, with the Jimmy Broadbent side as well. Our very own Benderama is heading the whole Discord up. I've given some absolute power there.
God help us all.
And two new teams as well, which is going to be fantastic.
Absolutely, and we've also just got to give a shout out to our wonderful admin team as well. Both managers, lead admins, league admins. That's a bit of a tongue twister there. Stewards as well. Everyone behind the scenes. Also, a massive shout out to everyone who makes all this possible and gives you guys also a great evening's worth of entertainment every week. On multiple days as well. So shout out to those guys too.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm just doing some admin stuff.
Oh, Johnny, stop multitasking, God damn it. Let's have a look at what's happening so far in the standings. Perry leading the way as we are just following him around in that very funky coloured Lamborghini. Reckless Lambo is the team name, and Reckless Lambo, I'm sure they're not being too reckless right now, being able to put the car on pole. A very good time for them so far, 1:57.6. Very respectable time. Daniel Hahn, though, half a second away in P2 for the GT3s. In the McLaren, second, third and fourth, all McLarens. As such as their favouritism around this track as well, it's a very handy car around here if you can get it right. And Daniel Hahn, as we said, in that aptly team named Return of the Mac, Sidon Tut, again P3 in BW4E team, a hooligan livery team there. It's a very funky livery, very glossy, very not glossy, what's the word, it's all shiny. It's glossy, isn't it? Glossy livery, shiny, yeah. Sam Ogzul, I'm gonna butcher these names tonight, aren't I? Rose Racing Ferrari P4, jumps into P4, pits Ramsden into P4, and Ramsden drops to 5th, Reynolds 6th, Coach 7th, Ethan Scott in the highest ranking Porsche so far, in 8th place of Dynamic GT Huber Racing. But is that the new Porsche? That is the new Porsche. It's the more kinder Porsche, and the one that doesn't want to step out at you all the time and throw you into the barrier as he goes very sideways through the complex. I take that back. First of the GT3 AMs in ninth is Nate Allen, who conveniently is in the same screenshot as Ethan Scott there, as he goes up the back straight. First of the AM class in P9, but P1 in class. Good showing from him. Current time of 1:59.9. Revelation 10th. Oh my goodness, P11th. What is that name? Glassimpor. I'm sorry for those. Sorry to those in advance for those complex names. My dyslexic mind does love to have a panic attack. But he's in, was in P11th, he dropped to P12, Revelation gets to 11th, and things are chopping and changing in the midfield, so people still trying to set good laps here, but only with 20 seconds left for these GT3 cars are currently on track. Things are starting to calm down a little bit. Perry and Wenzel first and third respectively will not be improving. They have returned to the pit lane. That is their time set in stone, and I have a feeling unless either Hearn or Tut finds a massive gain, Perry is relatively safe as it stands. Looking in chat on YouTube, good evening to everyone. It's a pleasure to have you all. A couple of shout outs. Paul O'Grady was sick and I couldn't join tonight. Oh, the Haribo livery is out. Yes, in that McLaren that we briefly saw earlier on. Paul Prescott asked how the M2 is still on track. It hasn't joined the track yet. Their qualifying will be in 9.5 minutes time as we see the GT4s go out to track now. So let's have a gander. It will be Trinket de Tass, who is in the comms box with us, will be joining us in an hour's time, all being well if Johnny's driver swap goes okay. But is in
I'm hoping.
Oh, hello, there he is. A sneaky appearance on his outlap. How are you feeling, Trinket? You feeling confident?
Yeah, the pace in practice was good, but evolving track, people didn't go out towards the end, so we'll have to see. It's optimum right now. Temperature's nice and cold.
Nice and cold indeed. Optimum track, no rain forecast, and a lovely temperature as well. It's lovely things to see for a driver, isn't it?
I say nice and cold, but of course it's nice and cold in oNiD terms. It's 20 degrees, which is like the temperature it was today, and I was melting in my room.
That is fair. Yep. You were referring to real life. I thought you meant on the actual sim, but okay, that's also cool. Bless you. Well, we'll leave you to it. Go and get yourself muted. Get your head down. You're going to have a busy track out there by the looks of it. So all the best. We'll check in.
Going on.
Yeah, it's a bit of a train. You and 3 other cars. There's a Maserati behind you and a Mercedes and a Porsche in front of you. So yeah, good luck with that one. Have fun. Get you stuck in. We'll keep an eye on you, and we'll drop in and we'll see you in the comms box later on.
See you in about an hour or so.
See you in about an hour or so, indeed. Michael Bastad says, go M Backstad. Where's M Backstad? He is somewhere. We'll check into that in a little while. I don't think it was a GT3. It might be a GT4. Keep an eye out for that name. But as we see the GT4 cars winding up for their laps. And the first person to set a lap will be, no, not Ash Hill. Who's out on track at the minute? We'll see in a second.
I can give you a little update on Ash Hill. Ash Hill went out and did some laps when he shouldn't have done in the first 10 minutes of qualifying. And he will actually start the race with a 10-second penalty.
Oh, he's a naughty boy.
Yeah, someone didn't listen to driver briefing.
Someone didn't, not at all. Well, the first driver who will set a lap in the GT4s, leading the way in the Alpine. It's not him, there's cars up ahead of him. It's very interesting. Apparently Paul Cumber is going to be the first person to set a lap in the GT4s. I'm not sure if that's quite correct. P23 Porsche. Oh yes, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. I am totally blind. Yes. M Backstad. Yes, thank you very much for pointing that out. Go Backstad! Woo! In the Porsche. Bless him, he's brave to do the Porsche, I must admit. But Cumber will subvert Powerpuff Racing. Dear God. I have so many questions. Go Powerpuff, I think? Anyway, let's not go down that road. I definitely have not watched that show before as a kid. Avoiding the public humiliation as Cumber goes through down the new pit straight. I believe he is the first GT4 on a lap because cars are getting out of his way. So we'll stick with it. If anything else pops up, we'll quickly jump to it. But Daniel Hand says, evening guys. It's good qualifying for you, Daniel. Well done. P2 with 0.5 of a second to P1, bless you. But good showing nonetheless.
I'm not surprised, the boy's an alien.
It is, yeah. Literally, James Perry is absolutely just crazy. Crazy time. But we'll see what can happen. Qualifying is one thing, a race is another. It's all that LFM practice we've been doing, Daniel. It's starting to pay off a little bit, isn't it? Bless you. But as we just wait for Cumber to finish a lap, I'm eagerly keeping my eye on the timing boards in case someone else does set a time before him. will stick with him nonetheless. Penultimate corner. Through the final corner. And the Alpine of Paul Cumber will set a time of a 2 minute 10.5. And indeed, there have been some other laps done that we just missed, sadly. Jennings, Lindblom, Prescott, Tremblay, Uga, Hill, Jelic, all setting times, but a very good lap there for Cumber. Points, what was that? Half a second quicker than the P29 car as it stands. So good showing for him. Good showing indeed. Anyone else going quicker at the minute? I can't see anyone else setting purples, but there's a very close improvement here for Rutstallion. Rutstallion. I'm so sorry, guys. Literally.
Roosterlinen.
What you said, Roosterlinen. Thank you. Thank you, Johnny. It's perfect.
It's all right.
I'm
just here to correct your absolute shocking announcing.
Yeah.
That's all I'm here for.
As that driver that I'm definitely not going to be able to pronounce again is going quicker and currently P2 in the GT4s, and it should be enough to challenge Cumber at this rate if you can keep it pointing in the right direction as I go down in through the old pit lane. Race strat punt car 783 says Daniel Hearn. No, let's not. Don't want to do that. That's your fellow Reinhardt Motorsports teammate with Rob Szymanski and Julian Reinhardt. So let's not. I don't want to break up that fight. Please. Pretty please. Person. Hello, Collins. Pretty alright. P16 for me. Tied time with the 40 Fezzer. Oh, wow. Let's have a gander at that. Indeed, you have. That's insane. And person, that's Zach Silver. Good evening, Zach. And indeed, you have set an exact same time of 2 minutes dead. Both drivers setting the exact same time. That's insane. I'm gonna have to screenshot that. Habib, move it. Badim, Habib. Oh, for goodness sake. Good evening, Badim. Yo, where are my Chevy homies? I don't think there's any Chevys here tonight, sadly.
Oh, I don't think there is either.
No Chevys, sadly, for you tonight, good sir. But Ilpo does improve his time, not enough to challenge Cumber as it stands. With only 2.5 minutes left, no one else is improving in the GT4s, really. And you know what is fantastic? Sim_Noob has subscribed to the channel. Fantastic.
What a legend.
Absolute madman. God help you, but it's a pleasure to have you nonetheless. Legend. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you for the follow, and indeed being on YouTube and making the switch from Twitch to YouTube is all the support and follows that we can get would much be appreciated. So thank you for smashing that follow, subscribe button into oblivion as we just await for some of these GT4s to finish their laps. Who is on a good lap though? Well, I say he was on a good lap as I cut to him in the Ginetta GT4. Nick Wu, who has just track extended and invalidated his time, was up by about 0.8 of a second. But no longer will he be able to improve. Might get to see the checkered line again and get another lap in with about 1 minute 10. I think he'll be alright for another quick flying lap. But sadly, no improvement from him. Let's check a bit further down the order. Toby Lowen in Area 51 Racing in the Mercedes AMG GT4 is on a lap and looks. Oh, this is going to be a good lap from him. 0.7 second up on his best. Perhaps won't see him challenge for the lead, but definitely we'll see an improvement as he comes across the line. Up to 33rd, and that is quick math 6th in class. Good lap from Toby.
Yeah, it's a very good lap. My team, Mr. Trinket the Tass, up in 4th. Good lap.
Very good lap. He won't be improving though, sadly, because he's in the pits and he was just pipped to 3rd in class by Peter Jedlik. in the oNiD Racing Stronger GT4 McLaren. Poor Trinket.
To be honest, I think we're probably in a good. We'll probably hope for a bit of rain. I think we had some really good damp pace compared to some of the others. So yeah, I think we'll be in a good position.
Indeedy so.
Yeah, I only got 1 lap in anyway. There was a lot of traffic.
Ugh. Right, now it is time for the BMW Cup cars to go to track. As I'm trying to frantically find one that is actually going to track. Let's have a look. There we go. So let's have a look at these guys. These cars I haven't seen for ages on the track, and what's even more interesting is there's 3 separate classes tonight. So it's going to be mayhem to try and keep a track of who's who. But nonetheless, first car out in these cars is that Paul Prescott. It is Paul Prescott leading the way for the M2 cars.
Yes, BMW M2s.
I want to say M4. I knew it wasn't right. It's half of M4. It is literally half an M4. It's just the road car with slicks, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah, these cars will go out to track. It will take a little while to get round, but it gives us the chance to quickly look at the what am I saying? The GT4's positionings, and Cumber leading the way in the Alpine, and then that guy in second class that I can't pronounce the name of.
Roostalainen in second.
Roostalainen, thank you. If I hear it, I can say it, but then after that, I'm just buggered. Jenlick in third, Tass fourth, Jennings fifth, Winkler sixth, Lowen seventh, Wu eighth, Tremblay ninth, Prescott in 10th. There was a bit of a change there all of a sudden. VTube in 11th, Lindblom 12th, August 13th, and that is your GT4 order. No, not quite, because they're still on lap, so it is changing a little bit. So those GT4 still were able to set a lap, and indeed Nick Wu is on a lap. He shouldn't be on a lap. He needs to go back to the pits pretty soon.
I'm on it.
You're on it. He's on it. Johnny's on it.
Boom!
Damn. And that is admin power right there, ladies and gentlemen.
By the power of Grayskull.
Oh God. Julian Reinhardt says 10 minutes of slowness. They're still quick. They're still quick, you know, but quick by definition is something to be, you know, defined. As Hill will come across the line to set. Now, Hill does have a 10-second penalty because he was a bit of a naughty boy and went to track with the GT4s, which he shouldn't have done in the first 10 minutes. So, Hill will be able to set a time, but will more than likely be starting right at the back of the grid regardless of where he starts. So, who is on a lap at the minute is my wonderful dear friend Rob Semenska in the Reinhardt Motorsports, powered by oNiD. Wonderful to see Reinhardt back in with us again and wrapping the team as what we once were is now very much embedded in oNiD, and we are very, very grateful for Sir Johnny to give us the opportunity to come and race and be a part of the team. And I'm definitely not kissing up to the boss because he's in the comms booth with me. But
You definitely are.
Hi, Johnny. Hi.
You know where your bread's buttered.
Yep. And if I keep being nice to you, hopefully it'll be on both sides. Anyway,
Sounds like a euphemism.
It does indeed. only that was you. That was not me. That was lucky low Kummerbush, very much so. Good lap for you. And Rod and Zach says Rob hasn't binned it yet. Ooh, Zach, you be careful now. You be careful. As he's on a lap, but it is somewhat slower than what A Hill has done. But kind of got to ignore Hill at the minute because of his penalty for being a bit of a muppet coming out into start of the qualifying when he shouldn't have done. So we'll keep an eye on this for now. 42, car 42 will be first to set a lap. I think car 332 is going to be the next one to go across the line, as Hill does. Oh no, car 42 gets in the mix with the GT4s at the back end there. That's beaten in the 42 car, setting a time good enough for 40th, which is P1 in class, and Auger. Look, Auger's suffering big time, so Auger's going to have to be starting in the mix with the M2s.
Just going to, me and Trinket are just going to disappear off for 2 seconds. I'll be back, Aiden.
Uh-oh. Wonderful. We'll have those back in a minute. Hold up, why is a 156 Porsche not set a lap? 156 Porsche? Aha. Ah, because I believe he was disqualified. Potentially. But no doubt will return for the race. Julian said he'll bin it when his confidence goes up. Presumably you mean by Rob. Don't say like things about Rob like that, Julian. He might be a bit of a muppet sometimes, but he'll get there. He's all right. Give him time. He'll be fine. Well, give him time. He'll bin it when his confidence goes up. Okay, that was a follow-up message. Okay, thank you, Julian. Thank you for that clarification. But nonetheless, Rob is on a lap. Bit slower than his best time so far. Ash Hildo, who's just behind him, is on a better lap by 0.5 of a second. We'll see him potentially jump up in front of Prescott, who's still in the pits, and he's no longer in the pits as I say that. I totally jinxed it, and I definitely had an amazing brain moment there to know he was going to be out the pits at the exact same time as I would have said that. Dear God. As an Ash on a lap, 0.8 of a second up on his best, so he has found a little bit more time, so we'll stick with him and see what he can do as he goes through down into what was the new turn 3, and I lose track of what the actual turn number is with the start and finish straight being on the old national straight instead of the Hamilton International straight. But he'll go 4th and continue 0.7. Take a lot of curbs, these guys in the BMs, and really getting their tyres up on the sausage as well, trying to get as much time as they can. And if it doesn't affect the car and doesn't break the car, then I don't see why not, if they can keep it within legal limits and the game doesn't invalidate it. As Hill goes around the penultimate turn, and then it's only one turn between him and a time. It gets very twitchy in the exit there as he puts the power down, but no fuss through the final turn, and he will jump up, potentially. He doesn't. It is an improvement, but not enough of an improvement to jump up places, sadly. Lost a lot of time through that penultimate corner. As we have 2 minutes after qualifying for these M2 cars. They go through the final parts of qualifying. After this 2.4 hour race, all 3 classes at this track at the same time. We're blessed to be joined by Johnny again. Why did I say blessed? It's Johnny. He's all right. He's not a blessing, bless him, but he's fine. He's fine. But we'll be joined by Johnny Ash, head of oNiD Racing, for the first hour, and then his teammate will come and take his place in the comms box, and we'll have Trinket de Tas for the second part of the race. I'm presuming they're only going to be doing one stop for a driver change, maybe, potentially. And it is fantastic that and this YouTube have subscribed to the channel. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong. I am so sorry, but it's a pleasure to have you nonetheless. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. It's a pleasure to have you, and welcome to oNiD Racing. Sadly, Ash Hill not on a better lap. Paul Prescott though is on a lap, 1 second up on his time. So this, if he can keep it together, will be a stonker of a lap if he can not make any more mistakes. We did see him go wide at this corner a couple of laps ago. 30 seconds left. Checker flag will be waved very shortly, and anyone on a lap will be able to finish. Excuse me. and anyone that has not made the line in time to start a lap when the flag goes out, of course, will have to call it quits there and be settled and content with whatever time they've done. As Prescott goes through the new final turn, so that's what I call it, onto the new Hamilton pit straight, the international straight. He will then carry as much speed as he can through new turn 1. It will go into this heavy braking zone for what is then a very tight right-hander. You can carry a lot of speed through there and use up the track like Paul has done there. There's 1.3 seconds up on his time. It's a very good lap here if you can keep it together. Auger is a GT4, don't need to worry about him. But M2s that have seen the flag, Ash Hill, Rob Semenska and Knight Last. Knight Last, it's not, he's a GT3. I've already seen the checkered flag. Don't know what I'm saying. Semenska, Hill have seen the checkered flag as Paul Prescott is invalidated, and that's not going to be an improvement. Promptly returns to pit, sees the checkered flag, and sadly, that is it for him as we await a couple more cars to set their times. Tyshaw and Green pulls it off at the end on the international straight and calls it quits. He's not going to improve. Ethan Davies, though, is on a lap. We just await him to finish off. He has seen the checkered. No, he hasn't seen the checkered flag. This is a lap for him. He is currently slightly up on his best lap time by about 0.2 of a second, so it will be a very slight improvement. Not enough to get any higher than he is, but this is the last car on an active lap on the track, and we'll just wait for him to finish off, and then we will go into the race.
We are back.
Uh-oh.
Super awesome strategy worked out. We're going for it.
Uh-oh. Oh, dear God. Let's not spoil the fun for anyone that's listening in, shall we? Those pesky GT4 teammates don't want to tell them what your game plan is, do we?
Oh, our plan is basically no brakes. I mean, a different brake.
And that, folks, is the end of qualifying. And now we go to the race. Johnny, what can we expect from tonight?
Hopefully not too much carnage. The track is starting damp with no rain due in the next half hour or so. So it's going to be a bit tricky, lap 1. I think the wise move for most teams would be to start on slicks. I think it would dry out very quickly, especially with this many cars on track. Obviously, there is a GT3 at the back of the pack that's going to be working his way through, but he will have to be very patient and work his way through safely. Obviously, there's a couple of guys starting with penalties as well that they're going to have to, they're going to have to manage that the best they can. I'm just typing them in now.
Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Lap 1 will be the lap 1 will be the one where there's more. There could be more carnage than what we would like to see usually in a race. But there's a lot of faces that we know here, and they know how to do lap 1. So we'll just have to see.
We will just have to see indeed. Good on 30 seconds before we go live again for the race. What we'll do is, tell you what, let's jump to the track and just touch base with Mr. N. Last. It's actually Matevez Rant now who will be driving that Porsche. He's going to have a big job to do from the back. He's starting last, sadly, and will hopefully see him cut his way through the field in a calm and efficient manner as we just wait for the final 10 seconds. And look at all those cars. Oh, a massive grid. What a fantastic turnout we've had tonight.
Yeah, absolutely amazing to get so many cars here, and it's just awesome to see, really. We're lucky. We're a very lucky community that we have some great drivers that will come and race every opportunity they get. So yeah, it's fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to it.
As am I. 2 hours and 24 minutes on the clock, plus 1 formation lap. We will await these guys to go around the track, get their tyres warmed up, and we'll then be able to get going for what will be a hectic, fun, entertaining, I am sure, and absolutely bonkers race here for the relaunch of the Jimmy Broadbent Community powered by oNiD Racing.
That's what we're in. Trinket hasn't started.
Ooh.
This is my master plan.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
The game put me on wets, so I'm just taking the teleport to pits, putting dries on, and then going out.
Fair enough.
It's
That
quicker than
is-
going round and then going into the pits.
I can understand that.
Damn it, game! I said dries and it put me on wets.
You are still sort of standing on track, though. That is the thing.
Yeah, it's 10 seconds.
Oh. That
Yeah.
figures.
It's unfortunate, but I've done this before.
Whoopsies.
Sam Page can attest to that. There we go.
And there we go. Back to pits you go, bless you. Well, at least you'll get a clean start. You won't be getting caught up in any madness.
He
I'll
says.
work it out.
He says. He says. The famous last words. As we just wait for these guys to go around, and we're going to see some sparks fly, I think, between Perry and Hearn. Hearn's very quick in that McLaren in race pace. I've had the pleasure of racing him in some of the LFM events that we're taking part in. Just the usual turn up and drive rolling events that we kind of got into now, and he's a very good driver in that McLaren. He knows that car very well. I say that, he's sliding very much, so bless him. But it's still a damp track. That's probably why they're just getting used to it. No
Yeah, I
rain,
think they'll be
though.
trying to get to no rain, but I think they'll be trying to get as much heat into them tyres as they possibly can. It's going to be, I would think they're all on slicks, so tyre temperature is going to be a massive problem until the track has just gone greasy, but until that track goes to fast and to optimum, they're going to really struggle for tyre temperature. So it's best to get as much as you can in on this lap, and try and heat them brakes up as well, because otherwise turn one could be very interesting and hopefully not too much carnage. And yeah, long race and looking forward to it, and be interested to see how it plays out. It's almost an endurance race. 2.4 hours is what I class as a mini enduro. But we'll see how they get on, and hopefully we'll have 48 start. It'd be nice to have 48 finished, wouldn't it?
It would be, for sure. What a fantastic time. Sadly, I say that, only 47 cars on grid, sadly, so we've fallen short of 48. That's an insane number. Boo hiss. As everyone will now get into side-by-side formation for the last couple of corners. And this is where all the action will happen. My Badim's prediction: he will get in a lap 1 instant even when he's starting from the pits. Oh, Trinket, that's you've been called out, Trinket.
Who's called him out?
Badim Habibovic in our wonderful YouTube chat. Tally's left-handed Maserati and a damp incoming. Ha.
Full send.
Full send it. As we go through to the start-finish straight, side by side, they are in formation. And it's to be a wait for the green flag. 2.4 hour Jimmy Broadbent relaunch. We're away. Green, green, green. Leaders get off well. Perry gets a little bit ahead of Hearn. Hearn's around the outside. We can make that move outside. Gets on the curb. Gets very wobbly. They're going to side by side into the complex. The figures behind look to be clean so far. We'll stick with the leaders. They go side by side. They're giving up space, and Hearn has to yield. That's good driving there from both guys. Massive move around the outside for Hearn. Couldn't quite make it work. In the background though, side by side for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. They're about to go 4 wide. And so far, it looks like everyone's got through cleanly. And so they go down the back straight. No one is dropping down the order from what I can see. And everyone's looking to point in the same direction as well. Turk tries to go around the outside there of Hubert, but can't make it work. There's a cluster of cars all fighting for the same piece of track on lap 1. There's a bit of a dive from Sidon Tut there. Might just made a slight touch on the Ferrari on the inside there, but they're going to go side by side. And they're side by side in the background as well.
Big incidents down at the Club and Vale chicane. A lawn darting Alpine of Paul Cumber has absolutely outbraked himself and absolutely wiped out. There was an incident just before that as well. So, but Trinket's just come through, so we're not last.
Hey, good on Trinket.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I think he got caught out on the brakes and just had nowhere to go.
Let's have a look at the replay very quickly with Paul Cumber. We're going to go all the way back. Fighting away is Paul Cumber with, that's the Aston of someone. They're going to go all tidy as they go up, down the back straight. A replay of this fight with the GT4s. Everyone, so at this point in time, getting very cleanly through, respecting each other, giving them enough space. But then Cumber, this is where he'll make a big error as he goes down. There's a car glitching ahead of him. That's Zach Silver glitching off track. But that's an absolute dive bomb. And contact is made, and that's not going to buff out. Oh, poor Cumber. Poor Cumber. He will start to maybe lick his wounds a little bit there and get going. But that's not ideal for him in the slightest. Paul says sorry, could not see his breaking point. It says Dexter Morgan. That would make sense, sadly. The leader so far as we go on to lap 2. Track still greasy, 23 degrees air temperature, 25 track. Peter Jelinek now leading the GT4 class from Clark, and then Lindblom and Winkler. Rantlow in that Porsche started last is safely making his way through the field and will get through these GT4 cars in no time, I think. Yep, making a move already on that Ginetta. Excuse me. In the BMWs, let's just check in with them. Beaton, the pole sitter for the GT4s? No, sorry, BMW M2 Cup cars, leading the way in that battle. Ty Sean Green second, Paul Prescott third, Ash Hill fourth, Mooney fifth. There's a battle in the background though, but that's a GT4 recovering. That is Paul Cumber trying to get back through. That's not Paul Cumber trying to get through, that's apologies, Eric Auger trying to get back. Oh no, it's not. Ooh, who the hell was that? That was insane.
It was Paul Cumber.
It was Paul Cumber. My timing screen and my timing app is not updating itself. That's why I was getting confused. We've all done it, says Matt Wilmot. Yes, we all have at one point or t'other. Ooh, who's that off the track? That's Daniel Smith, P25. May have just made a mistake on his own there to leave himself vulnerable to Rant now. Rant's managed to get past all the GT4s and BMWs, so we'll now try and make inroads into the GT3 pack. And indeed he does. That's a good move there. Nice, clean and calm and collected move there from him. Let's jump back further up the order. The midfield battle is still as hot as where we left it. And that is Hussein getting a very fighty in that Ferrari there, and a bit of a battle there with Darusha and Tomlinson ahead of him. Both McLarens again. A very popular car for this track. I think a very popular car in general right now in the Assetto Corsa Competizione. As they all go down the back straight, I think they're going to stay put for now. I say that, the McLaren up ahead is really challenging the Ferrari. Goes wide though, and this will be a potential move around the outside. Outside then becomes inside, bit of door banging. And that Haribo liveried McLaren loses out, and potentially is going to lose out to the other McLaren behind him.
Yeah, great battling there, absolutely fantastic battling. Not easy through them corners either. And to go side by side through there, that's absolutely brave and a great job as well. He's really got absolutely planted and making good moves. As we see the McLaren then going to go up the inside.
Oh, no!
Oh no! That wasn't the one. That wasn't the one.
That wasn't the one. No, that was a massive slam into the sausage curb and then used that Ferrari. It's a bit of a break there really, but they do continue, but albeit maybe with a bit of a racing stripe on there from the paintwork of the other car there. As has Hussein got on now on his Ferrari. Oh, excuse me, folks. As licking his wounds now, Hussein is now looking a little bit vulnerable to the charging Mercedes behind him of James Hodgson. Everything seems to have calmed down now. Meanwhile, James Perry, current race leader for GT3's 2-second gap to Daniel Hearn, will jump back up to the order a little bit because Alistair Ramsden is
Harry Ramsden.
Ali Ramsden. Alistair is catching Lee Castells. Oh god, that's another name that is just screwing with me.
Castellas.
Yeah, what you said. Castellas, yeah. As he's looking a little bit slower than the McLaren through the corners at the straights. The McLaren does struggle. Did note this whilst doing a bit of testing that the McLaren, even though probably is the best all-rounder for this track and for many tracks, the straights it does lack, and those cars that have the straight line speed can capitalise on that and stay ahead or make a move, and I think for now that's the only thing that's keeping the Ferrari ahead. Right, what else is happening up and down the field? Sidon Tut, Ferris, Tomlinson again all battling for that midfield. Grassmore also going at it. Are they gonna... Oh, he's getting quite close range. Is Thompson to Hubert. And indeed, I think he might be able to make a move up the inside. He's going to tuck it into the slipstream. Decides to take the outside line. And he's going to hang it around the outside. Outside will become the inside if he can make it work. No, he's got a nose there. It's just enough.
I thought he'd done it. But the Haribo car managed to just sneak a nose back up the inside and did an absolutely great job.
Well, that Ferrari's coming back at them now on the inside of turn 1. And we've seen this before in real life. It hasn't ended well for a couple of certain drivers, but ends well enough for these guys, so they continue on their way.
A great battle going on in the GT4s back. Trinket's caught up with a pack of about 6 cars down in 38th. He's bringing Paul Cumber along as well for the ride.
Gander, as Trinket is catching Prescott in that Mercedes 4 Mercedes ahead of him, should I say. And this is a train of cars of the GT4 class, and again Cumber recovering, following him through as Prescott goes deep and gives a reason for Trinket to have a look around the outside. Can't quite make it work, stays put for now. Let's go to Helicam to get a good overview of these battles. Up ahead though, Lowen is defending from a charging Rotterdam. Oh God. Roostelainen. Yeah, what you said. God damn it. As Roostelainen is also catching and struggling to keep an eye on what's going on where. There's multiple battles here with all these cars, kind of in a train really. As Prescott now trying to make inroads, but that's a bad drive out of it. It's a train of 8 cars, 8 GT3 cars. This is quite literally half the class really. We'll go back to Trinket. He's going to make a move the inside of Prescott.
Yeah, he'll get that done as well. The Janetta will just hunker down in the corner and he'll get a drive out of it. Yeah, good pass from Trinket. And Greg's under pressure from a certain Paul Cumber as well, as we see Roostelainen and then go the inside of Leuven as well.
Oh, look at this though. Trinket making a move on Lowen.
Oh, nice.
And that is... no, that wasn't Lowen. That was... who was that?
That was Toby Leuven, yeah. It was Toby Leuven. Now he's having a go at Jennings as well, and he's got Jennings done as well. Oh, Greg's had a bit come together with Leuven as well in the background there. Just spotted that, and a little bit of contact. But great moves from Trinket. He's got some serious pace in that, Janetta.
He has it all. Favouritism maybe, but fact nonetheless.
He's doing a damn sight better than I would be, I can tell you.
Yeah, exactly. Bless you. As Lowen and Prescott, well, it is
Tell
registering.
that to me taking you out on Tuesday.
We will not,
don't-
can't mention that.
I can't mention it. That's GT3s. It's not GT4s. Oh my god. We don't mention that and we don't talk about it on stream. Oh my god. As Lowen looks up the inside of Prescott. Oh, that's a very interesting line from Lowen. Takes to the grass there. I don't know why he felt he needed to do that. Plenty of space on the inside there, but loses momentum and has to yield the position. We do have a car in the pit though. P25 is the first GT3 pitter of Rant. Where is Rant? So where did he go? On 26th, and it is. Ooh, interesting. Rant's in the pit, showing us 26th, but it's not showing on my radar, which is very random. I wonder what's happened with Rant. He's now in 27th. Is that...
He's dropping down the order.
He is. He's now in 30th. What happened there? Is it a driver change? I think it was a driver change. Oh, was it? What's happened to Rant? Dropping down the order. We'll stick with this GT4 battle though, because YouTube is having a good defending battle here with our one and only Trinket to Tass. And Tatas takes a lot of sausage and keeps it going now, but that did not look comfortable in the slightest.
He's doing a great job. He's really going for it.
He is. He's taking every bit of track that he could possibly can, trying to get the advantage. He's got a run, I think, now. But his momentum was a little bit... Oh, he's going to have a look up the inside. No, he thinks better of it. Behind him, there's a car going down the inside.
Oh, wow. What a send.
That was a send. He's going to lose out that 2 positions, sadly. And Cumber's going to try and get around the outside as well.
Little flash from Trinket as well. Shows his displeasure at that move.
I think so. And in sporting fashion, I think he's given the place back.
Fair play.
Mercedes, fair play. I will commend him for that, absolutely. That was, who was that? That I think is going to give him
Tremblay,
potentially. Yes, car 2. Fair play, Tremblay. Very good of you, sir. What a wonderful, wonderful classy act that was. Right, up ahead though, we're going to jump to 7th and 6th. So alongside we join them, and the Ferrari's off the road, and oh, that was a sketchy moment there. We joined right in the middle of that battle with Ramstein and Lee of the Ferrari. These names are absolutely doing my head in. But nonetheless, they both continue. But 4 wheels off the track there for the Ferrari, and I'm sure some skid marks were created, but not of the tyres.
brown trouser moment.
Yeah.
Should we go and have a look what's going on in the M2s as well? We have to neglect
let's neglect them a little bit. Yeah, they're still here. Who's leading them at the minute? John Beaton still leading the way in the M2s of the BMW Sim Racing team. I'm not sure if that's just a stock livery, potentially is. But he's continuing nonetheless in the lead. Paul Prescott, though, is a bit further down from him in P2. A good odd few seconds. Oh, yellow for Zach Silver. Zach Silver!
Oh, big connection issue.
Lag. Massive connection issue. We have a yellow flag also for Eric Auger, the GT4 driver. Porsche in the wall. He is very much stationary. Don't quite know what's happened there, but he is very much off the track. Whereabouts is it? It's looks like to be turn 1, I do believe. It's that car's not moving. Is there any life in the cockpit? Can we tell? Oh, it's the last turn. There's no life in the cockpit. No movement at all. I wonder what's happened to him there. Definitely, he's disconnected. That is
He has, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, a complete disconnect there. But yeah, that's a shame. We'll go back with the M4s. There's they're all pretty much spread out. The M4s still going.
M2s.
M2s, sorry, half at M4.
Half an M4, yeah.
M4 minus M2 equals M2 squared, doesn't it? Anyway, no, I'm joking.
A squished M4.
Squished M4. Isn't that a Porsche? A squish VW Beetle?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I call a Porsche now, a squish Beetle. There are, though, a load of slow pings coming up. Oh, actually, look at all this. This is an absolute cluster of cars. This is the Dutch endurance team down in P20 in 36, should I say. For the 29th in class, that's 36 on the road. What's happened to them? They were way up the field.
Yeah, I think they've taken a pit stop, so they've already taken an early pit stop. So, but some of the GT3 cars, I just see Dan Hearn go through as well. So the GT3 cars are catching the pack now, and as you can see, it is becoming a little bit of a cluster. Trinky and the GT4s are handling it very well as well, but it is going to hamper Perry, who is in third. I don't know what happened to Perry, but he's in third, and he's trying to battle through these, and Dan Hearn is getting away, as well as Osgood in second as well.
Absolutely. Oh, hold on. For me, Daniel Hearn's in the lead.
Yeah, Dan Hearn is in the lead. I don't know what happened to Joe Perry. Joe Perry's just come past Trinket and the GT4s, and he's down in third now. James Perry is, and then Osgood's up into second as well. So I don't know what happened, but it's going to make it very interesting for the rest of the race.
Did you get caught out by that pack of slower cars that we joined? That's my only thing. That's my only thought. Excuse me.
Quite possibly.
Indeed. Well, the GT4s are going at it, though. They are still nose to tail in the back of the pack. This is, 31st, but this is P5 in class of the GT4s. There's a train from P5 all the way down to P8. That's a car getting very screwy on exit. Up the middle of the GT4s, that's not going to work. It is going to work. Dear God, nice contact between the GT4s. Oh, that's not going to go down well. There's Trinket in the background, looking to make amends. And look at this, Trinket around the outside. Should I become the inside? Oh, no, can't wait, make work. He's down under threat from the Mercedes behind. These GT4s providing us a fantastic battle. There's contact.
Yeah, Trinket's done what he made initial contact, and now he's getting really. It's 4 cars going down the hangar straight. Trinket has lost out a little bit. The McLarens are so quick in a straight line. Trinket will have a bit of luck on the braking. He should be able to outbrake the AMG. As the AMG nearly goes into the back of the McLaren as well. Oof. Absolute battle. But look at that Ginetta in the corners. He's got a GT3 as well to deal with. Is he going to be able to outbrake him? Not quite.
Oh, contact. That was with Jennings.
Oh, he's done well, Trinket, though.
Oh, massive crunch. GT4 and GT3 cars involved there. Oh, let's quickly get a replay of that. As we do follow Robert Jennings. Let's go to Helicam and see what happened. Oh, God, look at all these cars trying to figure out where to go. Trinket on the outside. And has the outside line and turns in, makes contact, and then goes around. There's cars getting collected big time, and there's contact between GT3s as well.
Oh dear.
There's more contact in the background as well. The Dutch endurance team there as the replay just finishes.
Yeah, it's going to get busy. It's going to get busy. It's only this will be the busy part of the race. And then it will be another few laps, and then it will come around again. So it should, as we just see, there is a Lamborghini just off at left field. I'm seeing on my screen, but he's back on and going again. But yeah, like I said, it's going to get busy at times, but it should start eking out a little bit when the pit stops start to happen, and there'll be gaps forming. It won't be so chaotic. It's still the early laps. We've only had 21 minutes of this race. So yeah, really,
only 21 minutes.
Yeah, only 21 minutes. So quite incredible, really.
We'll be going all the way through this race until just past 11 p.m. tonight. It's going to be an absolutely insane evening. It's going to be craziness up and down the field. Our battles are happening in GT3 as they try to get through past the GT4s. Hussein fighting with, looks like, Chris Ferris. Ferris trying to get past Hussein, but can't make it work. In the background, there's another fight between no, I think that's just a GT3 lapping a GT4. Actually, I'll ignore that. But and they're going to do this continuously for the next 2 hours. You know, they're going to catch these guys multiple times throughout this race, and if these GT4s don't break themselves up or go into their little clusters, these guys will just continue to just be almost like a rolling roadblock, really.
Yeah, and that's the challenge of multi-class racing is if you are in that slower class, you know that you are going to be a rolling roadblock, and it's how you manage that. And there is a certain art to multi-class racing, and I'm a big fan of it. And I really do think you need to be very skilled and have a good knowledge about you to understand what you need to do. And for the most part, I've seen in multi-class races that actually the GT4 drivers and the M2 drivers and the slower class drivers are actually really good. In my humble opinion, it's the GT3 drivers that are a little bit impatient at times that cause the majority of the issues. So, but I'm sure all the GT3 drivers will tell you absolutely different.
Of course, absolutely. Of
And
course
say, oh, it was always the slower car, but yeah, that's just in my opinion.
Yes, indeed, bless them. Well, nonetheless, they're all still going, which is nice to see. We've only had one car, 2 cars disconnect from 47 to 45. Do have a yellow flag for Nate Allen, guaranteed to choke motorsport in that yellow Lamborghini. As he was that the Lamborghini potentially saw go off earlier on, Johnny?
Yes, he was. Yeah, he went off at Luffield earlier on, just out of Brooklands and into Luffield. So I was struggling with the Lamborghini a little bit. It's not an easy car to drive, but he's brave enough to take it, and he's keeping it on track, which is the main thing.
Sorry to interrupt you. We're going to go to the top of the field. There's a spin from James Perry. P1, 2, 3 and 4 were all going at it, and James Perry's come a cropper.
Well, that will shake things up a little bit.
Hearn down to third, Coach to second, Ozgul first, now leading the GT3 class. Let's see if we can get a cheeky replay of what happened there, because these guys, this is first, second, third and fourth, all on the same straight. As we just watch this replay. They're weaving left and right. But James Perry was trying to find a way through. Oh, that's Hearn trying to find a way through, the leader, and I go down into the new complex pretty much, and Hearn does the dummy, gets on the brakes, gets the turn in okay. Is this Hearn going to cause a spin here? Hearn gets hung out to dry. What's going to happen with Perry? He's going to get tapped, and he just loses it of his own accord.
Oh, a little bit on Hearn, that one. Had to turn in at some point, but Perry was always there. And unfortunately for Perry, he's come an absolute cropper. So that'll be one to, I'm sure, that will be reported after the race for the stewards to have a look at. There's no, there will be time penalties given out if there is reports, but obviously no license points as there would usually be in the social races. But it's more for the panel to look at incidents and have a look at drivers and just have a chat with them, and you just make them aware of where they went wrong or and who was to blame. We've got Zach Silver. Oh, Zach Silver's off at Luffield. How Trinkets missed him, I don't know.
Let's have a gander very quickly. He gets going again. But we are going to quickly rejoin the battle for P1, 2 and 3 because they're all in the same corner pretty much, fighting for the same piece of track. It's now going to become, I think, a P2 and P3 battle because P1 has managed to get a 0.8 of a gap and gets a bit of breathing room for now. Oh, through the new turn one there. 2 McLarens looking very racy. His hand might have a run. Goes around the outside and makes contact.
Oh dear.
That's not going to go down well.
No, there's plenty of room at that corner as well into the complex. he didn't need to squeeze him there, and unfortunately Dan now turned coax there. So yeah, Dan's not having a bit of tough time of it out there, but he's really trying to keep up with the lead battle, and just unfortunately getting a little exuberant in some of his passes.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's drop down the field a little bit because Hubert's going to make a move on. Did make a move, or was very briefly actually alongside the P10 car, but has since dropped back. I think there's a back marker that just got in his way a little bit. But Hussein in the background in P12 though wants to make amends for a mistake that he's met. Well, not mistake. I think he was collected a little bit early on in the race. So trying to make amends in P12 at the minute, but I think everything now staying stationary. Oh, James Perry. Sorry to inadvertently jump to him. Was registering as a slow car. White flag was being waved for him, according to the timing app. But he is still going. May have some connection issues there with James, as I think he was sliding and crabbing a little bit unnaturally through a couple of those corners. Maybe trying to do a bit of a Zach Silver in that Lambo. It's never encouraging to see from a car trying to race, but nonetheless, still here to fight another day. Back further down the field, nice little battle here for 18th, 19th and 20th. Again, two McLarens trying to catch what looks like to be a Lambo. So now continue their battle into the next couple of corners. Nothing much happening there. What else is happening? The GT4s are back at it. There's a move on the inside, and that's contact. That's not good. Nate Allen falling down positions because of the contact there from that McLaren. This race can be summed up by one word: Spinella. I think I said that right. Thank you, Vadim, in the YouTube chat there. But nonetheless, they all keep going. Ooh, Hussein's made the move on Hubert. So Hubert drops a position there, down into 12th. That battle was brewing for a couple of corners, but in the background as well, Chris Ferris from oNiD Racing Stronger having to defend from Big Revelation in the Art FFG team. Again, McLaren versus Ferrari. We haven't had that one before. As McLaren looks to get a better run. Ferrari goes wide through turn 1. And that's move done. Nice and easy move. That was a easy overtake and nice position gained there. That further up though, Daniel Tomlinson with Sudan Tut in 9th and 8th respectively. Not too far from each other. Apologies to for my coughing. As Daniel staying put for now, 0.5 of a second behind, so within touching distance really, but not able to do anything as of yet. But what I do want to do is go back down the field, because these GT4s, they're not leaving each other alone. They're still going at it. Thankfully, Trinket has gone well clear of this battle in 31st overall. He's good 15 or 16 seconds ahead of this cluster of cars, but 32, 33, 34th and 35th. Ooh, that's a yellow flag for Daniel Lindblom. That's one of the that's second place in the GT4s. In the Maserati has gone off. That's big damage though. Massive damage for the oNiD Racing driver there, Daniel, who's gonna surely limp it back to pits and take a pit stop.
Yeah, it's going to be it's unfortunate for Dan. He loves that Maserati. He does really enjoy racing it, and he looks like he's collected a GT3 there. I think it was that yellow Lamborghini, and Zach Silver might have been involved as well.
I think it was Zach Silver. Sadly, the replay doesn't quite go back far enough. I couldn't get quite to go back far enough. And Zach Silver was in that Splatoon Audi that I saw glitching across the track. So
yeah, Zach's having issues.
Sure what happened there, but Lindblom sadly suffering the fallout basically, and dropped to third in class. Which is a shame. We're going to drop back down to Paul Prescott, who's fighting away in his GT4s again in the inside of the McLaren of Robert Jennings. Can't make that move work there. Simhound Rookies is the team he's driving for this evening, that black and white GT4. Inside line will become the outside, and may have to yield to the McLaren, who plants it on the apex and gets the drive out the corner. Still potentially on this move as he sticks to the back bumper of the McLaren. Down they go into the braking zone. McLaren plots the car in the middle of the track. Zach Silver again showing as a yellow flag. He's having continued issues with his car and drops all the way down instantly to 31st overall. He's gone back.
I have just asked Zach to return to the pits because his ping is causing incidents, unfortunately. So it was an admin decision to ask Zach to return to the pits.
Oh dear. That's never nice to see, and it's never nice to have to ask the driver to do that. But if it's going to be affecting the race and causing incidents for others that are just going to get caught up in it, then yeah, it's a hard one. But a decision that's never taken lightly. Of course, we'd love to see people race with us, but yeah, decisions like that have to be made sometimes, and indeed it has been made. As a Ferrari going around the outside of that GT4, that looked very close. And Greg does indeed keep it going, but that battle with Robert Jennings will have to wait until another day. But everyone kind of in their own gaps now. Everything's calmed down for now. GT4s have spread out a little bit now with the GT3s trying to make way. The M2s though, John Beaton's still leading the way. Only 5 runners sadly now within the M4s, but they are repping the class wonderfully. They're having a fantastic time and getting out there and getting involved. But Greg Prescott though, back on the tail of Jennings. But then look at this in the background. There's going to be GT4 cars trying to get through, and indeed that Porsche there was a slow Porsche. It's the Porsche that was started at the back of the grid, so has to make way for that McLaren. Nicely done there by these guys, letting them overtake each other when needed. Is Prescott to make a move? No, it stays put. They'll quickly jump to Chris Carr and Thomas. Oh, yellow flag. Who's that around? Hubert's around. In that Ferrari there of...
That happened right behind me. I have no idea what happened.
Thank you very much.
I looked in my mirror and he was sideways. Input receipt.
Let's get a cheeky replay of that then and see what happened. And he goes down into turn 2, 3. Oh, was that just a bit too much curb there? And I think that was of his own making. Holds the brakes rightly as he should, and he joins the race. I think just a little bit of too much curb there, unsettled the car, and around he went. Zach says, this race can... oh no, that's Nadim. I said that, sorry. Person, Zach Silver. It's 160 FB per second. What's FB? It's gigabytes per second. Might be a typo. It's a 160 gigabytes per second connection, they said. It'd be reliable, they said. Very sorry to people who got caught in that, was already contemplating pulling it off. Bless you, Zach. very sorry to see that, and very sorry that's happened to you. And I believe you have now left the race server. It's a pleasure to have you, but yeah, sadly these things happen, and very, very sorry that it has. As we'll go back to the racing. Alexander von Wenkuski and is having a battle with Giroud in the McLaren up ahead of him. Trinket, the on-track reporter. Absolutely, I could not agree with you more. Our on-track eyes and ears to what in the world is going on with this madness of a 2.4-hour race. It's meant to be good broadband. That's how they get you. It's so good. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, it's not. Technically, mine's supposed to be poor broadband, but it's absolutely wonderful. I've never had an issue. I've been quite lucky with my broadband and streaming these races to you guys. There was a battle forming here for P17 and 16, so that's now calmed down a little bit. What I am going to do though is jump up to P3 because Ozgul. I said it.
You did. Well done.
Honest. Is now catching Ethan Scott in that Porsche. 0.2 of a second between. There's nothing really to separate them. And this is P3 and P2 for GT3. Is pro class as well. So overall race lead. Sorry, overall race position, should I say? As Kevin goes very wide. And potentially goes a bit too deep into that corner. And might lose out here to the McLaren of Kuich. And indeed he does. There's a slower Lamborghini in front of him now he needs to get past. And indeed he does. That Lamborghini will be getting a blue flag. That's 41st position there. 727 of Ian oNiD. And indeed Ian does let him through. But look at this recovery drive from James Perry now. 5th place, right on the tail of 4th here. And you can see 3rd and 2nd up ahead of him. Zach says, no, in gigabytes per second, but either works. Yes, I got you. Well, oh, hello. Is that side-by-side action? That is. Or that's a slower car getting out of the way. That's blue flags being waved, so that's the slower car of that Mercedes getting out of the way. But
yeah,
Perry,
massively helped Perry. That car getting out of the way, because he still managed to maintain a lot of speed from Angus and Beckett's. So James Perry doing a great job of catching Ozgul in 3rd. But Dan Hearn seems to have checked out a little bit.
6.1 seconds is the lead over Hearn, and 2nd place Crispin Kuich in 2nd. But I have a feeling that this bottleneck will be released when Perry gets past. If he gets past P3, and they're catching our wonderful Trinket de Tass now. Is P3 and P4. So Trinket will have to be mindful of where he puts his car, and indeed he does. And they're going to go side by side into what is the new turn 1. Stop and go penalty for car 69 speeding in the pit lane, and they're going to go side by side through turn 1. And Perry gets it done. Cuts the nose off a little bit there of Ozgul. But that is move done. Yellow flag for P7. Go on, Johnny.
Oh, I was going to say the stop-go 30 is for Paul Cumber in the GT4 class, which is good for me in Trinket, but unfortunate for Paul Cumber. Really unfortunate. Yeah, speeding in the pit lane for him.
Oh no, Paul Cumber sadly got that drive-through, and that's going to hurt their chances of a decent result today, I do think. But still, an hour 43 to go, so anything can happen for those guys. Well, I'm more thinking hour and 43 for me with my slowly losing voice, which is going to be interesting.
So you'll have Trinket in 20 minutes.
That's alright, that's fine. Well, James Perry does make the move, and has indeed, as I said, kind of popped the cork in the bottle of champagne. Is now pulling away 2-second gap now to P4. And a bit of traffic up ahead of him. There's the BMW M2 of Reinhardt's Motorsports immediately ahead of him with a couple of slower cars as well, GT4s that he's going to have to try and navigate. The GT3 of Crispin Koch has just got through that traffic, but again it is just up ahead of Perry, and Perry will now be within shouting distance, and because of the traffic, P4 has caught right back up again.
Yeah, he's going to have a better run as well coming into Club and Vale, and I thought he was going to have a little go at him, but Perry covered it off really nicely. But yeah, getting to that point where they're catching some of the M2s and traffic is always going to be a factor in this race, and it's whoever can deal with it the best and make it work for them. And if they catch the traffic in the optimal places as well on straights and stuff, it's really tough to catch an M2 in a corner where you can't send it. Yeah, unfortunately, this is going to be a big factor in the race, and Koch has been lucky in the last few times round, but Perry's made the most of it, and Perry has indeed managed to jump back up into
he has,
third position.
But as I say that, Chris Ferris only racing stronger, yellow flag, he's had an incident. Let's quickly see a replay, see what's happened to Chris here, not only racing stronger. Fighting away with the yellow Lamborghini. Lamborghini goes to the outside, and then Chris Ferris then goes to the inside, and there's contact! Oh dear Lord. I think Chris did the best he could there to get that rejoined safely. He's in the middle of the track, so maybe had to do a bit more of a dangerous manoeuvre, but potentially could see what was coming. So yeah, sad times for Chris. He's lost a couple of positions because of that, including the one that he was fighting for. But maybe just a bit of damage, not too much. Hopefully, just maybe a bit of an inverted bruise kind of thing to the car, and we'll see him, I'm sure, fight his way back through. Indeed, he's trying to, because that very fortunate positioned BMW M2 car has caused Magnus Backstead to get caught out there. It's still on the tail of him here, and I think Chris will just about keep it ahead in the Ferrari. As the Porsche is very much, I say loose. It's not too bad. There are cars that are much more stable than the Porsche, but the Porsche can be quick if you know what you're doing with it and know how not to push it.
Yeah, a lot of drivers like the Porsche. I can't get on board with the Porsche at all, but if some people really can push it and really can be quick in it, I've never been one for mid-engine cars myself, but yeah, it's a good car, and some people make it work for them, and it's a lot better than the old one.
Yeah, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. This battle here for 30 to 40s, I think, has just about calmed down. So we'll move away from that and have a look as Daniel Hearns dropped down the order. We joined him as he was flashing his lights at the cars ahead of him. Let's have a quick look and see what happened. He was fighting here for what looked to be oh no, he wasn't fighting, he was leading. There's a car ahead of him that overtook him, perhaps? What's happened here? He just went very slowly. What?
Not quite sure on that one.
I'm not. That looked to be a purposeful give back of a position. There's a car off on the side. Who's that at the left? That's
Car 319.
319 low. Caparasso of the Be Serious Reparto Corsa. He goes back to pit. He's disconnected. He is absolutely disconnected for some reason there. We'll jump back up to what Daniel Hearn was doing, because he's now again overtaken P4 and the place was just given back. But car 87, stop-go penalty for car 87 speeding in the pit lane. That's Ramsden in P10.
It is, yeah, unfortunately. That's really unfortunate. They were running really strong, and a lot of drivers getting caught out with stop-go penalties. It'd be interesting to see if the pit board's there, and it's whether people are misjudging it, coming in too quick, and then the pit board's not there to give them a clue where that line is.
Sergey reckons Daniel Hearn gave him the positions back because of a previous punt.
Ah, fair enough.
Fair enough. We'll love a good bit of sportsmanship there. As well, he gets the place back anyway through a clean battle. But sportsmanship is the name of the game here, so yeah, props to Hearn if that's the case. Right, shall we check in with the GT4s?
Look who's leading GT4.
I know, look who is leading GT4.
Granted, he hasn't taken a pit stop yet, because obviously I'm still here. But
Yes.
yeah, Trink's done it shows him absolutely fantastic pace. I don't know if I'm going to get anywhere near his pace, but he's done an absolutely fantastic job to put the car where it needs to be. And yeah, we'll be looking at, you know, battling for a top 3 definitely towards the end of this race, and hopefully I can get in the car and for the best part of an hour and 24 keep it as clean as possible and have some good pace, and hopefully get there battling. I don't think we'll be battling with Jelinek. I think he's probably checked out, but I think we'll be definitely battling for a podium position.
Well, Jelinek has made a mandatory pit stop. You still need to make 2 mandatory pit stops apparently, according to the timing screen.
We do, correct. Perez's got to take 1 more.
Yes. Right, let's check up and down here. Ooh, car 87 has got to stop go. That's because that's just reminding us that he's still got to take it because he's crossed the finish line again. Oh, hello. What's happening with P4 and P3? They're still not really kind of... Daniel Hearn hasn't really checked out after making the overtake. They're both, I think, consistently catching Perry a little bit. 1.8 seconds to Perry. There's a potential slow car yellow flag situation with Tomlinson and Ferris in 9th and 14th. I think they may just got caught out behind some of the lapped cars. But nonetheless, they keep it going. The only rule for now, in terms of class battles and cars... Oh, that's a pitter. That's Uzgul pitting. So he'll go to the pit lane. James Perry is in the lead, and also Kuich in the pits, pitting from the lead. So Perry inherits first place. Perry still needs to make 2 stops. So does Hearn. They're both in P1 and P2 respectively now. So depending on how quick these guys are, we will we'll see what they can do. But yeah, it's the undercut may work for these guys if they can have a good pit stop and not get a penalty from speeding. One would hope.
You would hope, and obviously these guys are now, a lot of people making pits. They're doing the first hour, seeing how the tyres run. Some people may run 2 hours, 2 1-hour stints, and then drop in for a splash and dash towards the end and see if you can make the tyres work. Might not be a bad idea if it stays dry. You can make these things work. You have to do a mandatory tyre stop, unfortunately. So no strategy calls. I've just absolutely contradicted myself, remembering the rules that I set up for an event. Done well there. So yeah, these guys might try and split the last couple of stints, or just do 2 full hour stints and then just come in for a last stop with about 20 minutes to go, something like that. It'd be interesting to see how these things work out.
Well, that was a move there for P3 in the class, and Toby Lowen losing out to whatever, how the hell you pronounce his name in P3. Roosterleinen. Thank you.
It's just going to basically me a stream of me shouting out names.
It is, and I expect Trinket to do the same. Benedict. What am I saying? Benedict Cumber. What? No, not Benedict Cumberbatch. What am I saying that for? Cumberbush. Cucumber in the chat. He was the Alpine that sadly sent a bit of a dive bomb on the first couple of laps that we caught on the stream. Very sorry to the people I hindered or crashed into, and to my teammate who was overwhelmed with all the stuff in track going on around him. These things happen, that's why they're called accidents, and that very much looked like a accident. Bless you, Mr. Cumber. Oh, excuse me. Right, just over 1.5 hours to go as things stand. James Perry leads the way from Daniel Hearn. Still need to make pit stop those two guys, so they'll be trying to catch up with the pack once they've made their pit stops. Diego Da Rocha in third, Steed on top fourth, made their first pit stops most notably, so they will be trying to go the distance. I'm sorry, no, haven't made a pit stop, should I say. They are yet to make the pit stops. I was thinking of the Daniel Hearn and the other driver that pitted. I do apologise, but 35. Stop go 30 for car 35. I think he's serving it.
Yeah, car 35 is just in the pits. That is Zito in 8th position, and Ramsden is in serving his one as well.
Indeed. Zach Silver, Benedict Cumberbatch. Ada's been watching too much Salad Fingers. Maybe? How did you know? As we're going to jump up to P8 and P9. Sidon Tut trying to make a move past Tony Law. McLaren versus McLaren as well, so they'll be both very much equally matched in terms of performance. Stop and goes are cleared for 35 and 87. Is that a potential look on the inside? Not quite an Ethan Scott as well, wanting in this battle, as Turk goes very defensive. Almost stops the car in front of him. He goes very slidey. It's going to come back onto the track. Always make contact with the Porsche. That was close.
Very close. Well held, and Ethan's done well to avoid that as well.
Oh, that was very, very close. Let's quickly see if we can jump on board and see how close that was as they battle through into what is the Hamilton Straight. Goes defensive, gets back on the racing line, turns in and goes, shifts down. That's what caught it. Oh, that was close.
Wow, so close.
That was insane, and that's what caught him out. I think that shift down to fourth unsettled the car as he went through the corner.
Right, Aidan, I'm going to go and drag Trinket down into our little chat. I'm going to do a driver swap, and then I'll bring you back Trinket, who will happily help you commentate for the rest of the race.
Johnny, it's been a pleasure. I'm sure we'll touch in as you're driving. Please, no swearing, lest you get annoyed.
Can't promise it.
Can't promise anything with you, can we? No. Go on then. I'll leave you to it.
Alright, cheers, mate. Cheers, guys. Thanks, stream. See you soon.
Take care, Johnny. As Johnny and Trinket head off to sort out their race driver change, we're going to go back to the battle for P6 and P5. This is Ozgul making progress back through the field after his pit stop. Ethan Scott behind him, also a bit further down, also already made a pit stop on the car ahead of him, also pitted at the same time as him, and I think had got the jump on him. So a change of position in the pit lane. They're both going to fight it out with each other. We're going to keep an eye on the leaders though, because they'll be thinking about pitting soon, I do think. As I believe both of them are on a lap at the minute, as that P6 going wide there, the black Ferrari goes wide and it's going to come back around side by side, Ferrari versus Ferrari, as they're going to go side by side into the hangar straight. I forget what straights are what, and there's a slow car ahead of them, and there's contact! Massive shunt! Absolutely massive! And that is... oh, that's horrible to see. Oh, we're going to get a replay of that. Let's go to Helicam and see how that all unfolded. Ozgul potentially just misjudged where the other Ferrari was, came out and absolutely sideswiped the other car. There, and then doink. And he hit the wall. Oh, it's big contact. Absolutely massive. Jesus Christ, that was... Oh. I think I have to call 999 because I think I just witnessed a murder. He's in the pits. I'm not surprised. That's going to be a lot of damage to sort out. Oh, that's gutting. Massive incident there. As he will be dropping down the order. Race leader though, James Perry, yet to pit, has checked out a little bit again to Daniel Hearn. The gap to Hearn and P3, Diego Da Rocha, 40 seconds. That is enough for, well, not quite for one full pit stop. As we see, yellow. Ben Royal in the Haribo liveried McLaren's round. That's the end of the complex, so he gets back going again and sadly loses places to big Revelation and Hussein Gasro. And another yellow flag is Guido Zito in the 14th McLaren. I think he might have had a bit of contact with another car there and registered as a yellow flag. But let's just quickly check in and see what happened with Ben Royal. We'll go back to as he starts his lap. GT4 in front of him. Remember, people, check your mirrors before you lap someone. Yes, absolutely. Moral of the story. As we follow Ben Royal on a replay from his excursion, there's a Janetta in front of him. It might have just caught him out, maybe. It goes through the complex, goes around the outside. It just goes too deep. Gets it on the grass. And that is holds the brakes to stop him going on track again. But that was completely of his own making. What a shame. I do like that car. It's a very nicely liveried car as well. Well, let's jump back down the order a little bit. So we've got a battle spicing up here for what is P16th and 15th. Only 0.3 of a second for James Hobson to Magnus Backstad as they go through the middle part of the sector, going now into the final sector. One long straight, a couple of braking zones and a couple of turns before they get to the next one. And Ramsden, also in that McLaren, getting caught out by the back marker, I think, and losing time to these two guys as well. It's become a three-way battle for 16th, 15th and 14th as they go through the penultimate corner. One long right-hander. You play with your right foot on the throttle. You kind of dare yourself on how soon you get onto the power and flat through that final turn of a right-hander as they all figure it out after the traffic has made their way through. And they seem to have somewhat calmed down again. Daniel Hearn apparently going slow. He may have just come up to a bit of traffic. We'll keep an eye on that, and indeed that white flag slow marker for Daniel Hearn has cleared itself, so I think he's kept going again. I want to go a bit further down the order again. A very out of position Nick Brunick in the Dutch Endurance team there. Orange coloured Ferrari. We've seen him race very much in the previous oNiD Multi-Class World Championship, and that season finished a couple of weeks ago. A very competitive driver there, fighting away with oNiD go for the gap for and Simpulse team Simpulse Racing. I forget the name off the top of my head, but those three teams all going at it, and it's very surprising to see them down this far in the order. So he must have got caught up in something that we sadly missed, but it's on the tail of Thompson here for P24. It feels very weird to say for a Dutch Endurance team driver, but nonetheless they are going to get through the traffic. There's Aston Martin GT4 there that's getting out of the way, and indeed does so. And watch out, there's contact! Oh no! The GT4 car inadvertently has contact with Nick there, and that is just going to chuck him further down the order. That was Oh, that was gutting for him. Nothing he could have done there. That was potentially all on the GT4 there. So that is a shame. Who in the world just jumped all the way up the order there? All the cars just moved up a position. I think it was sad they had another disconnect. So everyone's jumped up a position on my timing screen, which is interesting. Oh, hello. Who's this in the pits? That's James Perry in the pits. So where is P3? This is P3. Cam Osgood. All the way at the other end of the circuit. How long has he been in his box? He's been in the box. He's been in the pits for total 30 seconds as it stands. So he's down off the jacks. So that was a pretty standard pit stop for him. Will he keep P2? I think he might. I think there was enough of a gap for him to keep P2. We'll keep an eye on it. Oh, I think he's got this. Where's, yeah, easy. I'm saying easy so many times that it was easy for him to maintain that position. And what I was really trying to say, instead of trying not to stutter, was an easy easy maintaining of position. There we go, we'll say it. Oh, who's that round in the pit lane? That's a car round, that's oNiD. What happened to him there? Oh dear. Oh, sorry, Ian oNiD, not Osmondi, oNiD, should I say. Apologies, folks. Me, names, computer says no. Let's see what happened with him. We'll jump back onto replay. Is he fighting? Oh, it's that same GT4 car, the Aston. Oh, dear Lord. It was just a passenger. We got a brief look of him going around the outside of the Aston. I think either was turning into the corner and didn't realise the Aston was still there, or the Aston just didn't get out the way. Dear Lord. Well, that's going to drop him down the order. And don't think he's going to be very happy with that in the slightest. Right. 29th is Ian. We'll see if he can recover. Still 1 hour 20 of this to go. There's nothing else really picking up on the timing tower at the minute. We are waiting for Daniel Hearn to make a pit stop. He has to start another lap. But everyone, in terms of their class positions, is... Oh, I say that. I'll take that back. P20 catching Loic Gould of the P19 team of McLaren there, 777. And Lolo team making a defence now of the ever-charging P20 car. Is that Ferrari going to have a look up the inside? No, he stays put. That's important. Right. What's happened with Night Last? He's pinging on my timing screen, being in contact with another car. So I think... excuse me. He's just getting past the GT4s there. Right, jump back up as Diego De Rocha now catching, recovering Ben Roder. Yeah, I think there was a netcode. Yeah, quite possibly. oNiD, otherwise known as the Laggy Lambo, to complement the Laggy Audi. Oh, yeah. Ah! Who be that?
Who doth thou think is that?
Thine thinks thy being in thy presence. None other could it be. Trinket de Tas.
Tas be that is yes.
Are we doing Shakespearean language or Yoda at this point? I'm not sure.
Do not know. You start.
No, I do not.
English broken that it be, yes.
Thy dagger plunges into my hind.
Does
as
Bruno
I feel...
Mars is gay?
Oh dear Lord. As
I
feel betrayed. As I feel betrayed. I feel betrayed by thy presence. No, Johnny.
Hello,
Yes,
Mr.
Trinket.
I'm sorry for my whacking driving. Was a bit of a knob.
Oh, bless you. Oh, bless him. It's all right. These things happen. That's all it is. It's racing. You know.
Camber was good. It was very messy for us for a while in the GT4s because, of course, I started from the pits, and there was an incident at the front. So there was the three of us who were top runners in GT4, so had good pace trying to get back through the field. And so getting into a pile of them, and there's Johnny Ashley on his way. Came out in fourth, about 4 seconds to Winkler, so we can see what Mr. Ashlois can do.
Indeed. Is he in this voice channel? Dare we talk about him?
Well, I cannot drag him into the channel with my powers. I don't know if you can.
Oh, I absolutely can. Where is he? I'll drag his ass into here.
Yeah, because that's the
there
reason
he is.
he's in there right now.
Oh yes, let's drag him in. Actually, I'm going to wait until it's straight. Until I drag him into Discord.
But yeah, there was some good fighting and good field work. But it was getting a bit messy and it was getting very piled. The GT3 field was coming, so I kind of just backed off a little bit.
Right, I'm dragging Johnny now. Johnny, do not
Hello.
panic, you're in the comms box.
Oh God.
Bless you. Shall we deafen you until we want to talk to you?
Yes, please.
Ask and thou shalt receive. I'm also going to server mute him just to be safe, in case we don't want to hear his blurb coming out. We will touch back with him in a moment's time. Maybe get a report from Johnny when he's a bit more settled with the car. But a P4 for GT4 class for running the oNiD Cam Sport livery for the GT4 Ginetta this evening.
Yes, he told me the reason for that is he doesn't have the normal oNiD one loaded. Which I don't know how he wouldn't, because I swear I've seen him in it before.
I'm sure I've seen him in it before. He's
It's the one he chose, so that's the one we're in. But I mean, it's all oNiD anyway. Johnny Ashley's the father of oNiD, so he can be whatever team he wants.
Yes, you can. Daddy father of oNiD himself. Oh, bless him. Johnny, I want your babies, says Cumber. I'm not going to get that out of my mind. That's going to give me nightmares. I'm not going to sleep peacefully tonight. Thank you very much. Good lord. Righto.
Well,
Right,
he has a baby, so that's kidnapping.
1 hour 15 left of this 2.4 hour race. Daniel Hearn currently leading the way. Yet to make a pit stop. We are waiting for him to make his first mandatory pit stop. James Perry, 53.6 seconds down on Daniel Hearn. If Hearn were to pit now, there is a chance that they will be fighting. As I say that, look what I've just jinxed. Hearn into the pits.
Notice, is he the last to make a pit? At least for the top first 23, he's the last to make a
Yes,
pit
he
stop.
is the last GT3 car to make his first pit stop. Hour 14 off, I believe. He's a solo driver. So...
Yeah, I probably would have, but I saw Johnny was alone in the team, so I asked him. He said Hydra was going to join them, but wasn't sure if he was going to, so Hydra wasn't well, so here I am.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Because I've done quite a few 2.4 hours solo. It's pretty relaxing. As I mentioned earlier, it's very cathartic.
Yep. And I had to explain what that meant. So that confused me. It still does. Right, shall we see if we can get a quick Johnny interview, shall we? Oh, actually, first of all, registered as contact between Ozgul and another driver. What happened there? Not entirely sure. Although, Daniel Hearn has got another driver. Sergei Filenko is his teammate. So I do stand corrected.
Oh. He does indeed have another driver.
He does.
Out into second place.
Yes.
So Perry does keep their lead.
Indeed he does. So a recovery drive for Perry at this point. Zach Silver says, anyway, if comms scrolls back in the event chat, you'll find my would-be playlist for a race. Okay, sure. Buddy, imagine having Johnny as your father. Zach Silver says to you, Trinket, I hope I didn't jump scare you with my connection. .jpg.
I did see him jitter around in front of me after he lagged.
Oh,
But,
apologies!
then he
Apologies to interrupt you there, Trinket. Ben Royal, again finding the grass. Let's see what happened with him. We're going to go to a replay. He's going to go through turn 1, and this Aston GT4 has been causing problems for some of these guys as they. Oh, that was just on his own.
just getting on those little mini sausages.
Yeah, you can take curve through that turn 1, but if you take too much, you're a little bit. I wanted to say a very naughty word there, but I stopped myself.
You've got to catch it very quickly if you want to keep going straight.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
you can take them, but when you take more of them in succession, the more the car unsettles, the more bouncier it gets, and then the more you end up sideways.
Yeah, indeed. Daniel Hurd in chat, yes, had to give that place back. I assume that was in relation to what you did with earlier on in the race before your pit stop. And I thought you were a solo driver as well. I thought you were going to go solo in this race, but you have a teammate and he's going to be trying to get back up the field, I do reckon. So, yeah, second place for you right now, 8 seconds behind the leader. So you got all the chance to get there. Ben is not a gamer, he touches too much grass. He didn't technically touch the grass there. Well, he touched the curb and then went on the grass, so... Okay, objectively your point still stands. Grass, what is that? Says, come on, Bosh. Oh, you know, bushes. I don't want to know.
Leave at any time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that open to interpretation. Right, I said I was going to get Johnny on the blower. He's still in P4. Well, let's not surprise him yet. So we'll wait until he gets onto a straight and see how the boss man is settling in.
I do see the gap is now 3 seconds. I saw it down to about 2 point something.
Yeah,
He is making a bit of time, which is good. You can see him just up ahead.
Right,
It's good. Just try and get that podium. That would be good for him a pit start. Of course, Ilpo Rustalainen had the incident lap 1 is in second place now, but I know Ilpo from the 24-hour race. I know he's speedy.
Right, but I'm deafening now. Johnny, it's Aidan in the comments box. How's it going?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Yeah, slowly catching Winkler. Car's pretty solid. Got a good setup on it. Conditions are okay, and just enjoy myself. Love driving the Jeanette around here. It's great fun.
Well, you've got some GT4s behind you, so you have to be mindful of those in a moment. But enjoying yourself, the car setup's all good. We'll hope to see you catching the podium positions in due course.
Yeah, it'd be really nice if I can catch Winkler and then kind of pull away a little bit, and it'd be good.
Well, we're going to server mute and server deafen you, so don't worry about saying any swear words. If you get caught up in anything, we won't hear it.
Thank you very much.
We'll chuck him down there and make sure we don't hear any choice words from our wonderful boss man. As he continues.
While I was muted, I did manage to refrain from saying some naughty things, even though I was muted, but they definitely were in my mind.
Yes, indeed. Bless you. As Johnny lets that Porsche go past him, and that is all done. Right. Have a breather now, because there's no real fights happening as it stands. The closest fight we have, excuse me, is this P9 car of Guido Zito catching Herbert Pastuska. I hope I said that right. Again, I'm probably butchering names. Trinket, help.
Trying to find the name.
P8, goddammit, car 944 is on the stream.
Yeah, there it is. I know, but trying to find the first names as well, because I have race control, so I had to go into view drivers, and then I got lost.
Rude.
But yes, Hubert Patzuska.
Catching...
Something like that, I guess. You know, I don't know if I'm right.
Tomato, it's all good.
Or is it Scots would say, wow.
Wow. as
Wow.
Zito was catching, but had a bit of a traffic jam with a slow GT4 car. Keeps it going. Valenko, though, James Perry checking out. Last lap for James was a 1:58.8 compared to Sergei Valenko's 2:09. Possible traffic.
Yeah. Perry is setting some very quick laps right now.
Or possible traffic for Sergei. You never know. But
I'm just saying in general, he's still going
well,
rapid.
in general, yeah, but he's. I think this
Fastest
is his
lap of
first-
a 1:58.8 and just did a 1:58.8, but ever so slightly different.
Yeah, just did a 1:58.810. His best lap 1:58.802, which is currently the fastest lap of the session.
By a whole second.
I know.
Wow.
Oh my god. Why are we whispering? I don't know. ASMR. God damn it.
I am being thanked, but /S.
Thanked but /S.
That means sarcasm.
I got you.
Thank you very much. I'm joking.
Oh my god.
Is essentially what you're saying right there.
You totally don't mean that. Oh my god. Was that good sarcasm?
Oh no.
Stop it. Stop out sarcasming me. Oh god, but Vadim in chat. Vadim in chat stating, my next prediction, Johnny will be punted by GT3 before the end of the race. I don't want to agree to that
no.
bet, and I'm quite thankful Johnny is deafened and muted in our Discord channel, so you didn't have to hear that.
Well, hey, they bet on me, well, not bet, but their prediction was for me to cause chaos from me starting in the pits, but, you know, I didn't.
No. Oh, we've had a slow car, though, down in 22nd. Raceroom Thompson. What happened to them? Going through the new turn 1, turn 2, and then gets on the brakes. He did ping up as a yellow flag. I'm going to be thoroughly disappointed if nothing has happened here. That was showing as the yellow very briefly. Oh, that's right. Decides to go off the track, lets the car through, and then rejoins in a safe manner.
It's a bit of an awkward one to rejoin there.
It is a little bit, isn't it?
It just keeps to the runoff so he doesn't go back on the grass, but
No,
you
absolutely.
lose a lot of speed through the straight from that.
I think that was the safest thing that could happen. Meanwhile, Guido Zito has actually made a move on Hubert. And Hubert
Who's
heads to
going into the
lane.
pits.
And going into the pits. Very good timing. This will be his second scheduled pit stop. Did he? I don't think he made pit limiter.
Yeah, I think the same thing as well.
Oof.
He went quite a bit far past that Stein. It's not the easiest to see with that camera, but
Oh, let's
one thing I do know is if you do come in a bit too hot, if you do manage to stop right away, if you came in just a bit hot, you can get away with it because it works through sectors.
Oh,
Yeah. I think that was an entry of about 60.
yeah. I don't.
Well,
I
we'll
think
soon
he's gonna
find
get
out.
Well, we will soon find out. And indeed, we'll await to go back to the live timing. He's still in the pit lane, so it's a bit of a long stop. I know he had a bit of damage, sadly, as
This is the first time I've seen Sam Page in the Ferrari.
I know. Likewise, in that oNiD Racing Stronger branded car there. But even Hammerbick says, I never said I'm good at predicting. But yes, the council awaits the fate. Hubert is out on track. No penalty.
Yes, them stopping, slowing down a lot more. I don't think they did actually stop. But because it works through little mini sectors through the pit lane to determine your speed.
Yeah.
If you come in just a bit too hot, kind of almost stop and then start going again, you can kind of get away with it. But if you come in way too hot, you're not making it.
No, exactly. Well, gets away with that, and it's a driver change to Ilan Wenzel in that Ferrari. So we'll see what progress they can make back up the field, and they'll be helped by other cars around them pitting in due course. But yeah, so far that's a successful pit stop for those guys. We are just want to pay attention a little bit, because even though they're P6 in the standing, this is your race leader for the GT3 AMS, the car 73. Then it is P2 in AMS for Diego De Rocha in P7 overall. Give a bit of attention to these guys, because they're running their own race as well, even though they're still part of the overall battle. So good showing from them. And then the P3 should I say, in the AMS is Magnus Backstad. But car ahead of him though, Ben Royal, just showed us the yellow flag there, had potentially had another little off. And look at, oh, is that a Backstad? That's not Backstad actually, that is that's a faster car, that's a Dutch Endurance team car. He'll get out of the way for him in a moment. But the Porsche though is just there in that pink and black liveried car of Backstad, who's P3 in the AMS. So, oh, is that's the Dutch team getting out of the way actually. Slower car. Yeah, I'm so used to seeing Dutch Endurance team up there with the leaders.
Because I think that was Ethan Scott, is it not? That Porsche.
It was. Actually, is that Ethan Scott? Let me see the car number. That's 11th. Yeah, that's. No, that is Backstad.
Oh, no, that is Backstad. Oh yeah,
It's Backstad.
0.7 seconds. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes,
So
yes,
that's
yes,
Backstad.
it is Backstad, absolutely, in P11. As indeed, he's catching, but not enough to make a mount the challenge.
Has also made a position on page.
Oh yes. Sadly so. Let's have a look. Samuel Page, yeah, indeed. Is
Oh, and there's Johnny Ashley
Proper
right
value.
behind Winkler as well.
yeah, absolutely. Page in 13th gets past the car. I can't tell what GT3 that was actually, but Johnny is fighting. It's Christian Winkler in that battle. Oh, yellow flag! You have a car stopped. It's a Lolo team of Loic Garoud. What happened there? Let's quickly go to replay. We'll quickly go back to Johnny
Very
Ashley's
interesting,
battle
because
in a
this
minute.
was about halfway down the straight.
Let's quickly jump on board.
Oh, they're stopping.
That's a stop on
Looks like we
track.
have an issue.
Has diesel, or fuel should I say, but still in the pits. How very random. Right, jump back to Christian Winkler, Johnny Ashley, because sadly, annoyingly, the move has just been made. Let's go back by a minute to get a replay. It's a bit of a long replay. You'll hopefully catch the overtake as they go through the sectors
We've
here.
got another yellow flag during this replay. Number 66 Porsche. Just dropped a position, so they've obviously had an issue as well.
And Nick
And
Wu,
Wu, the other Janetta, yeah.
the other Janetta GT4 having an issue.
It's a long yellow flag.
Badim Habibovic, engine failure, he reckons. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. And is Johnny actually going to make the move before the replay finishes? He is. And well, the move was done up the inside, and sadly the replay isn't quite long enough to see how that move was fully done, but traffic may have had a part to play in it. And yeah, Johnny Ashley trying to get past, just for position really. And look at this, around the outside, they're 3 wide, that's contact! Oh dear God, Johnny's round!
Got away with that one.
Dear God, what happened there? That's a very sketchy rejoin, Johnny. I'm sure you'll be happy to know I caught part of that on stream. So GT3 takes a dive, goes deep. Johnny tries to get back on him, has to slam on the brakes. The Ferrari goes around the outside, and I think it was just GT4 understeer. then gets tapped around again for good measure. And gets away in the rejoin. There was traffic behind him as he got back to track. Oh,
Not the best rejoin from Johnny Ashley there.
oh, sorry.
Oh,
This is Cumber's
Dexter
teammate,
Morgan and
Dexter
no
Morgan.
comment.
Yeah. So they're battling away into the second set. The Maserati gets out of it just in time. Oh, chat's going wild with the fact that Badim prediction came true. God damn it. Prediction master. Resafe join. Resafe joinly. Oh,
That is England.
England, yes. Tyler Hammer, Ferrari International Assistance being proven there. Oh, LMO. Oh, that was, yeah, I can get what that's in reference to. Yep. Very much so. They continue nonetheless. So just under an hour now to go of this race. Johnny Ashley's going to be quite annoyed, I think, and we're going to leave him to stew over that a little bit, I think, because he's now on his lonesome and about 11 seconds down now on Christian Winkler.
Dropping quite quickly. It's down to about 9 seconds now. But he came out of the pits about 5 seconds off, and it took him all that time to get right up close.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got all that work to do again now with
Yeah.
some extra damage.
With extra damage, he's got double the work to do, really, hasn't he? He said 5 seconds behind when he came out on pit, so yeah, it's rough. I daren't go into voice chat with him right now. I don't think I'm gonna just leave him to just stew on that one. We're gonna go back up the order though. P8 and P7 going at it in the GT3 class. Alistair Ramsden trying to get past Guido Zito. Both McLarens here, so reasonably equal on performance. The BMW M4 getting out of the way. 5 drivers still in the M4s, all still going at it, with Richard Turner leading the way, but John Beaton a good couple of laps down, sadly. Or is that my thing just glitching out? I think that's my thing just glitching out. They're all on the same lap pretty much, but we'll stick with this battle for a second. And I will.
Oh, yellow flag for Bayliss.
Oh, that's big. That's P18. We'll jump up to him in a second because these guys are really going at it. As they're going to go into the left-hander side by side. Outside becomes the inside for Ramsden. And I think he's going to keep it there. And is that move done? Still side by side. Oh dear God, this is going to end well. Well, we've seen what happens in real life when cars go side by side into the this turn here. Are these guys going to be able to figure it out? They do eventually, thank God. Now there's a yellow flag for P18 Oscar Bayliss. Now will the replay go far enough back to see what happened? I don't think it will, sadly. I think this is him rejoining. Oh no, I stand corrected.
Oh, that's a big one.
That's a hefty hit. That's yeah. That's car ending, that is.
Yeah, I expect he'll be in the pits after that one, if it's not as bad as we suspect, but that was quite a large one.
Indeed, as we just wait for the replay to finish. He does get going again, and indeed has made a couple more overtakes over some GT4 cars, so damage is there, but I think he'll be heading to the pits very soon. Have we seen any further pit stops? We haven't from the top guys. Ramsden, Gisito and Ozgul have made a second pit stop. Sergei Flanko is showing as a slow car. I think that's just because he's come up to some traffic. So we'll keep an eye on that. 9th place though has done 2 stops, and I think quite wisely Oscar Bayliss is going to come into the pit lane to get all that damage all fixed up. Bit of duct tape and you'll be fine, lad.
Yeah, get out the hammer, lads.
Bash it back down, stick it down with duct tape or anything that's sticky. And
I always love watching pit crews during endurance races after they've had a little bit of a knock, just running out, kicking, bashing it, rolls of duct tape. Yeah, that's good. Go on.
Absolutely right. Checking with Johnny because he's actually now up into third in class now. I think there's been a couple of GT4 pit stops that's seen him promoted up into third.
Yes, that happened a little bit ago. Bristol Line and pitted a couple laps back.
Now
he's behind, but has completed all of their laps. All of their pits, rather.
All their pits. I'm going to take a risk. Johnny, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. Not bad.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm doing good. It was unfortunate. I was in the middle of a sandwich. I had nowhere to go. The rejoin from the Lamborghini just kind of put us all together, and I couldn't do much. And then my rejoin was pretty shocking, so I do apologise for that. I didn't kill anyone, but it was a bit close.
The very contentious topic is your rejoin when you drove perpendicular to the track.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I do apologise for that, but I'm catching Winkler again. I've caught him up nearly 4 seconds already, so I'm in the 2:11, so the times are good. So we're doing all right.
Head down, boy. You'll get there. We'll leave you to it.
Cheers, mate.
Oh, there he is. That was Winkler. You just passed him. He's right behind you. You must have had an issue.
Oh, it was.
We get a replay on Winkler. He was coming from off the track.
He was. Let's get a replay of that because that's seriously, that's a both late position. Did you just get caught up with some summer cars? Oh, contact from the M2 class.
That's very unfortunate there.
That's gifted Johnny's P2 in class, and I think he'll be quite chuffed with that.
Yes, saves a bunch of work.
Well, karma can be a certain type of female dog.
Yep, we'll go with that.
We'll go with that. Had to think a minute, did you, to what I was implying I wanted to say, but couldn't really say because of, YouTube. Anyway.
I had to momentarily withheld from just going, oh, you mean that word?
Oh, that word? Yeah, exactly.
Like actually just saying the word, because normally I'm in a setting where I just say it.
Yeah. Rose of Witch. Yeah, that one. As Winkler does continue, but is only 0.7 away from Johnny. Now, this is the BMW's had a coming together with, and I have another coming together. There's contact that was made between the two as they go through the exit of the corner. Oh, that might be a bit contentious.
It's getting a little bit spicy.
But
it is always a bit scary and confusing when you're a GT4 driver and you're having to work your way through M2s while being worked through by GT3s. Being middle class is really hard sometimes.
No, big time. Like, I can appreciate their position, but at the same time, it's like, wow. Yeah, you're the slowest of the slows. It's a hard task, really. But yeah, I think that could have gone better for them. But they all kept pointing in the right direction, and was able to continue. Right, what's happening up top? James Perry completely checked out. 24 seconds to Sergei Filenko.
Got a fight between Fendersky and Tilo. Half a second between them.
Yes, indeed. As I scroll through my time between, indeed, they are having a bit of a ding-dong. Apart from that, though, there's nothing else happening on track.
Quite a few large gaps.
Very large gaps, really. Nothing worth noting at this point of 48 minutes ago. We predicted wet weather. We had there. I'll try and say that again without stuttering over my words. It's been a tongue twister as well. We have had wet weather. We were predicted wet weather. we have no wet weather for the next 30 minutes. We could see a dry race when in the server.
For the last 20 minutes, anything could happen, but until that point, we haven't had a single drop of rain
But for
in a session.
for
Because we had a wet practice start and a wet race start as the ground was damp, but it was never wet and it wasn't raining.
But for
So it's very interesting, that.
But for a server that was set up for it to try to rain, as that's moved done by Alexander there on Tony Law. I think Tony Law has. Ooh, Tony Law's having a bit of a wobble there. Got on the grass, I think.
You try and run quite wide out on that curb as you're coming through. You've got to drive through for track limits for car number 39.
Ooh, who's 39?
That is Wu in the Ginetta. 35. Oh, they're into the pits.
They are Alexander into the pit lane. Yeah, we've got some cars pitting. I haven't seen anyone else of the top runners pit yet for their second pit stop. Apart from Ramsden, Zito and Osgood.
You have the leader of GT4s in the pits, though.
Indeed, you do. Peter Jenlick in the pits. In the McLaren, this will be his second pit stop. And his potentially last. All being well.
With 46 minutes to go, it could very much be his not last.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Well,
all
we'll see what happens.
things good. Very much not so. I think he's going to come out ahead of Ashley as well.
Yeah, it is
Just shows how much of a commanding lead he has. Oh, that's him going around turn 1 now.
Yeah, and indeed ahead. Johnny's going to have a run now. He'll have momentum for the next couple of corners. As soon as they get back onto the next straight, it's pretty much status quo.
Really does just show how much of a lead Jelinek took there from the earlier incidents, being the fastest of anyone around him, and just left.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Dre's going to have a target in front of him, but bearing in mind he will still have to do a pit stop. I would take it. You going back to doing another driver stint, or is Johnny finishing it off?
Johnny's finishing off. I did an hour stint and he's doing 2 40-ish minute stints.
Fair enough. So he'll be in the pits momentarily if everything goes to plan. He's got another 45 minutes. 45, that's gone quick. Jesus. Almost had 2 hours this race. So let's just check in the chat. Let's have a look. Tyler Hammer just did a Jeff Gordon strap, removed the entire front end, let the radiator breathe. That was in relation to the McLaren earlier on. Yes, that's interesting strategy. I don't quite think it would work in really these cars, but
just had a position change between Backstad and Tomlinson, and Nick Manders and Vichub are close together fighting.
Ooh, let's have a look at that.
Gap's down to 0.1 seconds now.
Where is it? Oh, yeah, all the way down in GC4?
Yes.
It is.
Nick Manders, of course, being General Scrub, but now with the power of SimRacing.GP leaving beta, you can now change your name.
Aha.
So Scrub did.
Very good. There's goes up through the inside of VTube. Side by side now, they're going to stick at this. The VTube's going to hang it around the outside, takes a bit of grass for good measure. Turns that
McLaren is very fast down the straight.
Turns that
GT4.
Turns that McLaren into a bit of an expensive lawnmower. But Nick also
Nick
does the
went
same
in
with those
very hot. I was watching that entry and thinking, that's not going to make it.
That's not going to work. Well, he does rejoin, albeit in a slightly unsafe manner, but had space around him to do so. Right, let's have a look. What's happening down? We haven't really given much attention to the M2, so let's give a bit of attention to the M2s. John beat a very, very commanding lead of about 10 odd seconds over Paul Prescott. That's P1 and P2 for the M2s. Having their own little battle. Ash Hill, though, not too further back down the order, only about 16 odd seconds. As
And remember, they had a 10-second penalty at the start for qualifying out of the correct time, so that gap would have been shorter if not for that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good showing from that's your top three. Ethan Davis in P4 is just making a pit stop. Rob Semenska in the yellow liveried BMW of Reinars Motorsports, the Pentasol branded car, gets passed. Is being passed by the faster GT3 cars. It was a Ferrari I recognise the livery, Red Bull livery. Yeah, good showing from Reinars there, and his teammate
There's
Jurien.
Ilpo right behind him as well.
Yeah, as also a shout out to Jurien Reinars making a bit of a return after some personal family issues. It's wonderful to see him back in racing. And in stone last is still Loic Gould. It's the GT3 car that's decided to pit on lap 39 and decided not to retake the track. So,
If you remember, I think they were the one who stopped midway down the straight, this straight in fact, and just returned to garage.
Yeah, very random. Right, top 4 drivers have not done their second pit stops yet. Hodgson is in the pits doing his second stop in P9. P12, Sam Page needs to stop. T Law in P15 needs to do a second stop as well. It's mandatory. They have to make those stops. So, I'm trying to do math here. When Rocha, Scott, Filenko and Perry stop, where does this leave Osgood? Because I'm just trying to figure out when they pitted and if they need to pit again. They probably do, actually.
So Ogsal is about 18.5 seconds behind Darocha right now. Darocha is 38 seconds behind Scott. Scott is 18 seconds behind Spilenko and Coach in 10th. Well,
Yep.
Started 9th, now 10th has had a yellow flag incident. They've got going again.
Indeed they have. We'll keep an eye on that if that develops any further. I don't think it will.
I think once the top runners have done their pit stops, I believe. Ogsal might slot themselves into 3rd place.
Yeah, just trying to remember when they pitted, so I'm not sure if they can do it. If they need to take a splash and dash.
See if I can see stint times. Says Ogsal's been on for 16 minutes now.
Ooh. That is very doable then. We'll expect
They won't
them-
have much. Depending on how late the top 4 take their pit stop, Ogsal won't have too much extra tyre wear versus the others. And of course, they'll all be on equal fuel because they'll all be running to the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what happens with that, but that's an interesting development. Put himself in a really good position there. Actually, I say that. Is he a lap down? Just
No.
trying to... No, they're all on the same lap. Sorry, it's just my timing screen not catching up correctly. Yeah.
It's just because he hasn't crossed the line yet. It's just because the
Yeah.
gap's big enough at the moment.
Yeah, that figures. Right, everyone. So the first lapped car is P14. Tony Law on lap 49, just turned into 50, basically. Just. Or is it 21st Nick Brunick? Probably Nick Brunick's being lapped on the Dutch endurance team. That's very unusual to even contemplate. Right, let's just... I'm desperately...
I'm sure there was probably plenty of incidents.
Yeah, I mean, he did get caught up in a couple of things. I think it just never recovered. Oh, there's a battle here for 16th and 15th. Well, there was a battle. They were within 0.2 of each other, which I'm slightly annoyed at, because the Ferrari of the Team Racing Union now just might have just got dropped a little bit by the mighty Mercedes.
Just getting a bad exit onto the straight, but he's closed that gap right up again for this.
Yeah, he's
What's
pushing.
this one? The national loop? Or was it the international?
International. This is the international pit straight. I believe they've renamed it the Hamilton Straight.
Yeah, it is the Hamilton Straight, but yeah, of course we've got the international track and the national track.
Yes,
The
yeah,
two
this
smushed
is-
together to make Silverstone.
Yes, exactly. So international and the national is just half the track as the Mercedes gets caught up in traffic. It's just going to give them a reason for Ferrari to go around the outside. No, it stays put. And that
Very
BMW,
tight there.
yeah. Oh, this is going to be an interesting. Is he going to send it up the inside? He has a look, gets later on the brakes, thinks better of it. Outside then becomes the inside. It can't get the cut back there. Just a little bit too far back, really. Excuse me.
There's a lot of sticking your nose in, trying to make a move, not working exactly, losing a little bit of time again.
Oh, there's a move.
Getting ahead.
That's a
Using the
move.
traffic to your advantage.
Yeah. Exactly, that's the traffic there. Using it to an advantage and getting the move done. And I think Hodgson in that Mercedes is going to be a little bit annoyed with himself.
Ashley has pitted and has come out right behind Winkler, and they're fighting for position once again.
Ooh, that's groovy. Indeed, another pit stop has been made, and Johnny Ashley right behind Winkler. Because these guys battling has never got anything wrong about it.
Yes, them two being close on track has not ended in one of them dying.
Right, who's that in that McLaren? Is that the leader? Is that Jellick? That can't be the leader of the GT4, surely not.
I don't
It
think
is.
Jelinek.
I think.
It's Jennings.
Jennings. Oh, it's Jennings. So that's... Oh, yeah. He's been lapped. Ignore me. I know what I'm doing, guys, honest.
I don't know what I'm doing. Ha ha ha.
Ha! Oh no. It seems like an uneventful end with an uneventful start. Brackets clueless. I don't get that, Zach. That might be a bit of context that I'm missing. I go one further with my prediction. Johnny gets punted again and he gets a drive-through. Says Badim Habibovic.
Yeah, they talk. I ignore.
No, let's not tempt fate. The GT4 team's champion from the Multicast Cup driver Johnny Ashley is talking about here. He goes very deep. I might have just jinxed him there. Let's go and watch something else because P16 and 15 are still going at it. And boy oh boy, it is a battle to watch. Oh, hello. That's apologies. I'm going to jump further up the field. Thompson on the tail of Samuel Page and up ahead of them, the battle for 10th, 9th and 8th is also heating up. Wenzel and Koch going at it. Around the outside goes Daniel Thompson now in the Haribo branded McLaren, but can't do anything of it. Samuel Page gets back at him. Right, let's see what these guys do. Look at this. P9 and P8. Is that P8?
You're watching
yeah.
P9 right now, Blackburn up ahead and Coach behind, so it's a three-way fight for them.
Yeah,
and
that's
up ahead of them, I believe, is a lapped car.
Lapped car, blue flag car, yeah.
Let
so
me see who that might be. So we got. Whoa!
excuse me.
That's Sergei P2.
It's P2, so they might unlap themselves, basically, which would be hilarious. What's P2 doing there? There's a battle here, nonetheless, with Koch and Wenzel. Both of them going at it as Koch looks up into the inside. Is that going to be move done? It is indeed, as the cameras switch back to a more favourable view. There we go. And indeed, that does look like move done.
Should set to camera set 2.
That's better. Yeah. Oh, that is Blackburn. Yellow flag for Barry Blackburn there. He was ahead of Crispin Koch and Ilan Wenzel there. What happened to him? We'll go replay, because this was the 2 cars ahead of the battle we were just spectating.
I'm just hedging the guess that he got a little bit loose on the curb. Yep, that outside curb can be quite dodgy.
No. What a horrible way to lose positions. Nasty.
Is it because you're going around those corners, you're putting all of your load onto those left side tyres, so when you run on that curb, because there's so much dependent on that left side, because you're putting all of the weight on there, it just likes to go. Especially in the wet. You've really got to try and avoid that corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, we're going to go down Johnny Ashley now, because look at this. Catching.
I am looking.
Catching Sebastian Winkler. And he's within 0.5 of a second as they go through down into Abbey and Club? Abbey Vale Club? I should really know this. This is our home track. Why don't I know this?
Trust me, I don't know.
It doesn't make it
the track that I know most of the corner names is Spa-Francorchamps.
That's a good track to know. I'll take
My
that.
favourite tracks. I also know a bunch of the sector names for the Nordschleife.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you.
I often forget them.
Yeah, likewise. Joe's going on the outside, and there's a Dutch endurance team, GT3, trying to get past now as well. He's going to be manically being away from blue flags. Yeah, it is Nick Brownings. Again, Dutch endurance team so far down the order in this event. It feels so strange.
Yellow flag a little bit back and last, but it cleared up very quickly.
I believe that was Robson Ansford, sadly. Oh, wonderful Reinhardt Motorsport teammate there. Good to see him racing. Ooh, Robert Jennings is a bit of in an instant as well. We'll keep with this battle though. P9th and P8th overall going at it. I think I'm going to stay. Oh, let's just quickly check in with P9th and P8th because this battle is brewing big time. Because they're stuck behind one of the faster cars of Sergio Filenko. And that's contact! Filenko's round! Oh,
they were
boy.
getting very close.
That's not good. Sergio's going to get going, but Ethan Scott is just around the corner, but not close enough to take the position, sadly. Right, let's get a replay of that, because that was spicy. Helicam replay. Into the final complex they go. Into the penultimate turn, and I think he just misplaced his braking point. Oh, that's torrid. That is horrible. Truly horrible. It was a camera. That was TV set 1. I think we prefer TV set 2, really, don't we? Is that Johnny up ahead going side by side? No, that was a different battle. That was Hodgson side by. No, who was that? Up battling side by side, basically. I think it was. Yeah, it was. Blackburn and Queech going at it as battles up and down the field. Little things happening left, right, and centre. Battle for 16th and 15th. There's battle here for 9th and 10th. 8th and 7th are also going at it as well up ahead. Oh, side by side for the new turn 1. That's sketchy, but they make it work.
Doing a very good job at keeping to their sides of the track.
Indeed, they are.
Got an M2 to deal with, depending on where he goes, depends on who goes ahead. And it looks like,
yeah.
is that Drocha or Kuch?
That is Kuch going ahead for now. We are going to jump further up the order as well, though, because Rocha and Wenzel going at it now. Excuse me, guys. I apologise for the cold. Ugh. Nothing coming of that. Oh, Johnny Ashley really challenging now on the exit there of turn 1.
I imagine the pace difference through turn 1 is quite staggering because that Ginetta loves to fly through that corner.
Loves to eat the curbs for breakfast as well, though, doesn't it? Can handle the curbs really well.
Fly
So
straight over them.
it's like, curbs? What curbs? I don't know the definition of curbs.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't get any track warnings because through Maggots and Beckett's, I'm basically not taking Maggots and Beckett's.
Oh,
I'm driving straight over the green.
Right, Johnny has to yield to that GT3 now, but car ahead of him, the car of Winkler, will also have to yield, but I don't think he can capitalise. He's going to try, but thinks better of it and instead just decides to apply pressure to the back of that car. They're going to follow each other nose to tail through what is the new last turn going into the new first turn. But can't do anything of it there. They've got another GT3 behind them wanting to get past. And the GT3 makes a bit of a dive.
Big dive bomb that's not making the corner kind of dive bomb.
Yeah, and Joey's gone out the outside. Oh, it's contact!
Oof.
A
bit
bit
of
of...
miscommunication there. Johnny was
Oh,
trying to
no,
move.
that's
Oh.
more contact. That's things around. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And Winkler's going to rejoin in a little... Oh, actually, that's quite a safe place to rejoin, so props to him for doing that. Well, Johnny's got third, but perhaps not in the way that he wanted to. Let's see if we can get a replay of that, because that was brewing for quite a while.
It started with quite far back. Started with a bit of miscommunication. Johnny wanted to move over to the middle of the track, and Winkler wanted to squeeze him onto the left.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a touch, you know, that's fine. It's just racing. But I'm not quite sure what happened after that because it was a bit occluded through the camera angle. So we'll get a better angle of it here. You can see Johnny wants to move over a little bit. They come together.
Ooh.
Yeah.
6 of one, half dozen of the other, perhaps? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I think Johnny was expecting Winkler to move over a bit more and take more of the curb. Winkler was still kind of pointing toward the middle of the track there. So just very unfortunate. Not placing blame. I'm not saying that Johnny's in the right. I'm not saying that Winkler's in the right or wrong. These things just happen.
Indeed they do. And this is a side-by-side battle for P8 and P7. As Rocha, I think, gets the better of Wenzel. Johnny's KD ratio is going up here, as says Tyler Hammer. Oh, excuse me. And, yeah, I might agree with you on that one. Actually, as a GT3 car gets close to a GT4, and that looked very uncomfortable for a minute.
Well, if you remember during my stint, a similar thing pretty much happened.
Yeah.
Very tight and then tiny bit of contact and the other one went around.
Yep, that is a very fair point. Right, so what's happened up front? Because we've had some pit stops that we've sadly missed. James Perry has made a pit stop and has retained the lead, but Ozgul, as we thought, has managed to get up into second.
Ah, yes, because we saw Felenko spin earlier, as you remember.
Yeah, exactly.
I predicted Ozgul to come into third place, just because the gap was just a bit big.
Yeah.
But with Felenko losing a lot of that time to Ethan Scott, you can see now it's only 1.5 seconds. That slides Ozgul right into second.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be a good result for him if he can keep it going. And his pace to first, even though he's 52 seconds behind, he's only at the minute, only about, well, last lap he was 3 seconds slow. As he goes very wide in avoidance. I think they have a GT4 there.
I'm not too sure about that, though. Kind of did the Formula 1 miss turn 1 to go faster technique.
Let's just check in with that. We'll go back to maybe a bit too far back in the lap. We'll see if you can see the slower car up ahead. As we are on the replay, I've set the replay to be a bit long for this, but it will still prove my point and see what in the world happened there. Down through the fast right-hander. He's going to go through these 2 corners. Oh, is the replay going to catch it? Might just... 8 seconds after the replay, we might sadly just miss it. Oh, that's annoying. Wow. 30-second replay that was. 30 seconds and it didn't catch the incident. How damn rude. Johnny is going to hurt me for all this joking, and the chat is hurting Johnny's feelings.
Expect a private message for an official warning later. I'll be saving all of these messages and sending it into a private DM.
For the love of God. Jesus Christ. Right. So, let's check in with Johnny, shall we? Apologies. It's been a long day.
I know where I've got a bit of it too.
Yawn language now, isn't it? Right, let's I'm about to unmute him and see what he's got to say for himself. Hold on, oh, that one. Johnny, it's the comms box.
Hello.
What happened there?
Well, it was just one of the things, wasn't it? A bit of racing. Hard racing, bit of bumping, and yeah, the corner was mine. I think he should have probably given me a little bit more room on exit and didn't, and just coming together, and not how I wanted to take third because the battle was amazing.
Yeah.
It was really good chasing him down, but it's just one of them things.
He had that dive bomb of a GT3 car as well in the background. We saw that go completely deep into the corner, and very fortunate not to collect both of them.
Yeah, it was the GT3 actually did me a favour in the first instance because it kind of the Aston kind of like had to check up a little bit, so it gave me a little bit of room to get a bit closer and make the move happen. But then
also just spotted on the radar rain in 30 minutes, but of course that'll be after the race is done.
It will, yeah, thank God. Although I'm gutted, I wanted a bit of rain in this one.
We did say that we set the server set up to maximise the chance of rain, and we've been thoroughly disappointed, and now it is just teasing us with the fact that we could have had rain, but no, we're not going to get it. How rude.
Yeah.
Well,
according to ACC Drive, it's coming in 21 minutes, so literally a minute after.
Yeah.
So people on the last lap might get a bit of rain.
We'll keep an eye out for that. Johnny, will touch base towards the end of the race. 20 minutes to go. Good luck.
Cheers.
Bless him. Right, what's happening with further up in the battle? There's a battle here brewing again. This 14th, 13th battle just keeps coming and going. There's not much movement. And then they catch each other, and then they lose each other again, and they catch each other and lose. Well, I say that. The Ferrari might have a run up the inside and the new turn 1. Mercedes gives them enough space, but I think that Ferrari backed out a little bit there to allow them not to come together at the apex. Oh, 115 track limit drive-through. Who's 115?
Recognise that number.
That's Win Lilystone of the GT4s, the Maserati. It's 1, 2, 3, 6th in class, and that will drop him down the order for sure.
Yeah, at least into 30 seconds you'll lose 2 places.
Yeah, absolutely. So sad for them, and I'm sure they're not going to be best pleased with themselves. Let's check back up with P14, who again, as I said, that gap 14th and 30th is just ebbs and flows really, doesn't it? It comes and goes, and there's just nothing really happening with it. And when they do get close to each other, they go defensive at one another, and then the gap just opens up again.
Some great fighting, though. I'm sure they're enjoying it.
Oh, indeed, no doubt. But we want to see overtakes. Speaking of, P3, P2.
Valenko caught that, Urgzel.
He has indeed.
But don't miscount Scott, because they're right there.
Yeah, Ethan Scott in the Porsche, and it's got front row seats to this now, basically. So anything that happens,
because of that, and that GT4 as well. That GT4 slowed them down through Maggots and Beckett's a little bit, so now that's an equal gap between all three of them now.
Dear God.
They're all a second apart, pretty much. It's going to be quite a fight.
Is indeed.
And it's a fight for who's on podium as well.
Yeah, exactly. So pit stops have all been made. I'm just looking. 5.5 minutes of pit window. I don't think anyone's still got a compulsory, so I think we're all fine for that. It's now just racing to the flag and pit stops as and when you need them, if you need them. So watch out for a cheeky fuel splash. But for now, we'll stick with this battle because look at this, 3 ways for second, third, and fourth. Right, starting to lose my voice a little bit now. As we go down into the final sector, 16 minutes 50 seconds to go. Is Sergey going to have a look at the inside? No, thinks better of it. Drive through cleared for 115, so that GT4 car would have now dropped down the order.
And yep, they are in 32nd. But they are right behind Nick Manders, 0.7 seconds. So they might have a chance to fight back one of their positions again.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll stick with this battle.
And even Leuven is 1 second behind Manders, so that's almost another 3-way coming as well.
Yeah. Oh,
it's all coming to a head. Oh, it's Scott making a move.
It is indeed, and that's going to be up the inside, becomes the outside, becomes the inside.
Becomes the outside, becomes the inside.
Becomes the outside, there's contact! Oh, they were lucky.
I think that's Jennings again.
It is Jennings getting out of the way. What I am going to do though is very quickly jump down to the BMW M2s because this is a battle for the lead. Prescott and Beaton on the same lap. Beaton and Prescott are going to be fighting for the class win. I say that they are, with the nature of these cars, rather slow. So we'll have to wait to see if anything happens or not. I'm keeping an eager eye on P4 and P3, P2. That seems to have calmed down for a moment, but I'll tell you what, we'll jump back with Ethan because he's actually on the tail of Valenko. We'll keep an eye on that BMW M2 battle because that is for the lead at the closing stages of this race. But Porsche is not giving up.
An update on that GT4 battle I mentioned earlier. The 3 GT4s of Leuven, Manders and Lillestone are all now in 1 second terror to each other, so they're all flashing up as close fighting as Manders takes the place from Leuven.
Indeed, looks like he might have gone deep though, but holds it on the inside. Maserati versus Mercedes here.
One screamy boy without assistance versus 2 rumbly boys.
As they both go, all 3 of these guys go through into turn 1 and nose to tail. And now look at this. Lindstone? Was it? No, it's Lindstone getting past. Lillestone getting
also
past.
known as no comment.
No comment.
Ethan Scott has just taken 2nd place from both Ogsel and Filenko in
sod
a few seconds.
Missed that.
I want to get a replay of that.
I want to get a replay of that. Took the words right out of my mouth. We are having a 35-second replay, hoping it catches what happened. I'm going to go down into the complex. Was there an incident, or is there a reason as to why Ethan got past so promptly.
There's a lot of traffic up ahead. I'm hedging my bets to say it was something to do with that.
Oh no, massive sliding moment
Flenko
from
gets quite loose. I
Flenko.
think that's the first position that I saw being taken, but what happened to Ogsel?
I think also had a moment as well.
Yeah, Ogsel in the white up there, I think. Yep, just...
We joined back with live photos as Ethan Scott goes up the inside of a GT4 car, and that gives...
That was the fight we were just watching, because there's Lillistone in the Maserati.
Yeah, indeed, and there's going to be shenanigans as they go through here. Traffic getting in the way. That's a slower GT3 car trying to get past the GT4, and meanwhile Ethan Scott trying to get past them both.
Does manage to hold on to it, but that was a...
That was a nail-biting moment.
Quite a mess, that.
Yeah. I think there's more mess there than this.
Very deep there, almost taking the back out of Scott.
I think that looked more messy than a Picasso painting. I don't think Picasso's not messy. What am I saying?
There's no art to be found here.
Exactly. Yeah. But for Lenko though, me trying to be smart with my metaphors not working. But what is working for Ethan Scott is for Lenko and oSchool fighting away and being able to get a 1 second gap. Right, pit window's now closed officially, so if anyone did need to do pit stops, well, tough luck. You're going to get a penalty. Don't think that is the case.
There's Johnny Ashley on the left there as well.
Yeah, getting out of the way and being a good back marker. Or slower car, should I say. Things have calmed down now. Valenko, oSchool and Ethan Scott all pretty much have an equal gap to each other. So until that flares up again, I don't think we're going to see much of it. What we will do though is go down to Lillistone, because they're still on the tail of Nick Manders here for what is...
I'm sure you'll receive a message later from Neek telling you it's Neek.
Neek. I said Neek.
You said Nick.
I said Neek. I'm sure I said Neek.
Neek. Yeah, you said Nick.
Sorry, I'll neek it in the bud. Get it? Get it? Oh, there's contact between the two cars as we go back to watching the live stream, so making silly puns.
Yeah, because they messaged me personally before one of the races and being like, so you're going to butcher my name? And I'm like, that's Neek. And they're like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Don't worry, it's only me, guys. It's fine. It's just me, okay? As Win looks up the inside of Neek. Oh, that's a massive hit. And that's Lillistone round. Car's parked in Apex. Need to be careful.
It's because of the lack of TC and ABS. It's not the best car to try and hold your brakes on.
No, exactly. We will get a cheeky replay of that, because that was definitely an interesting move there. So up the inside, or is it just the fact that he understeered into him? I think that's just understeer. Couldn't get the car to turn in.
Just got the braking all wrong. You can see up ahead that they do manage to hold on to that.
They did, yeah, absolutely. So Nuke does maintain position. Got a bit of rumpy bumpy there. You call this Picasso, I call this abstract art. And this is turning into Wreckfest, says Badim. Look at all the cars, yes. Absolutely, there was a lot of cars there, and that was very much...
Look at all these chickens.
What? What?
An old meme.
How old are you? If it's old, I'm slightly concerned how old I am. Because I had no idea what you were on about.
It was like Vine era, I think, so...
Oh, I didn't pay attention to Vine.
Probably like 2014 or something like that. In terms of a meme status, it's very old.
Right. Crispin and Creech
die in a few months.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't die in my heart.
They don't. They have a special place in my heart. as Ian Wenzel loses out there to Crispin Keach. And,
Very good move there. It goes
very
quite
much
deep into
so.
that corner there.
Very good move. That's
I love not knowing corner names being, oh, this corner, that corner, the next one.
Yeah, I lose track sometimes. Just under 8.5 minutes left in this race. No rain.
Saw another yellow flag for Silverstone just a second ago.
Oh
They're obviously
no.
having trouble getting going again.
Let's see what happened to them, shall we? The yellow flag was caused by them just losing it.
Oh,
A slide, and then they get caught out by the presence of a GT3 car.
it's becoming quite sketchy at this point.
Oh, no, I stand corrected.
There it is.
Indeed, that is. We get it going again, though. But that is a shame.
Got two major fights going on at the moment. We've got Neat Commanders on the back of Leuven and Castellas on the back of Tony Law.
Let's take a look at the Castellas and Law. I think Castellas backed off a little bit there.
Oh, they have a drive-through.
Oh, do they? They do. Oh,
I didn't see that pop up. Oh,
no,
it was low. It was
that's
does
low.
the outside curb and spin.
Well, that's free real estate. Anyway, that's a meme. That's a good meme. But it's not free real estate because he gets the place back immediately because of the drive-through for Castellas. Like I said, that
Also, Silverstone. It's probably very expensive real estate.
Oh, yeah, it is. Have you seen they're building houses on the outside of this turn here, basically? Car 33 speeding in the pit lane. That's
must have come in very hot.
Must have done. So they've done their drive-through, and now, because they sped, they've got to do a stop-go. Bad to worse for the last 6 minutes.
That's going to lose them about 3. They're in 17th, so actually 2 positions. They're going to lose out to Law, Von Versky, and also Bayliss.
Crazy.
I think Brownings was too far back.
Yeah. Well, James Perry has completely checked out of this race with 6 minutes to go. His lead is just over 1 minute.
Just like Jelinek has just managed to keep the head down at the top, not get into any too major issues, and just keep pedaling on.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, doing good for that. Where is Jelinek? There he is in the GT4, and again his lead is almost 2 minutes, so almost a lap over. Oh, yellow flag potentially for Ian Omondi. Well, he's going, so it might have been just a little bit. Oh, yellow flag again there for Tony Law. Oh, contact with Alexander from him. No, not him. Him.
Getting over that sausage curve after trying to rejoin. See how much the car just launched.
That's not good. Let's get a replay of that because he's come off the track before that. So then he'll rejoin in a very awkward position. Cars, there was space. I wonder if he just turned in and not realised the car was there. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Going to me, left plenty of space, but then when it came to the corner, there was not space. Castellas is now in, serving their stop-go 30.
Yeah, so that's going to be gutting for them. Nothing else really happening up and down the field. Johnny Ashley still in 3rd place. I think that's the best he's going to get for the GT4s. We will see what else is happening. There's a gap between Wenzel and Kuich, about 1.2 seconds. There's traffic in between them. I think Wenzel gets through it very well there, actually, but goes deep.
Just looking at the gap there, and I just saw it drop rapidly, but that's just because he missed the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
It's down to 1.3 seconds now.
Yes, Ethan Scott, I think, is in a bit of traffic. Ethan Scott was pinging up that he was making contact with a car. Stop go cleared for 33. So it's just going to be another 2 or 3 laps of licking their wounds as Wenzel gets very slidey there. Rear end completely stepping out, but makes it around the outside of that GT4 car. But rain holding off for the whole session. Well, I say rain holding off. We did have a damp and greasy track to start off with, but we've actually had no rainfall at all. And as I say that, the game has updated us to say there's rain in 10 minutes. Not that it's going to matter, but yeah.
On the last lap, there is a possibility it might catch some drivers off because it will go from optimum to greasy to damp very quickly, and especially on these worn tyres, it might catch some drivers out, especially if they're running up onto the curbs.
No, absolutely. We'll see what happens with that, and might get a bit of a flurry of rain towards the end of this race in the next minute or so, potentially. But officially, I say officially, the game is telling us rain in 10 minutes, but that could come sooner, now or later.
Been there for a good few minutes now.
Oh, is it? Oh, whoops, I completely missed that.
I mean, I missed the 31.
Yeah. Oh, James Hodgson.
I must have gone a bit deep into that corner.
Let's just double check on the replay. He's up the back straight. Excuse me. As go down into this corner here. Yeah, he goes deep. Look at it, very deep.
Quite late on the brakes there.
Late on the brakes. Has a bit of a slide, and has a bit of a wiggle, but keeps it going. Right, one
leader on final lap, so we're not going to get much of that rain.
Not quite on the final lap. There'll be one more lap after this.
Splashed up in the bottom right.
Yeah, I saw that as well. There's 1 minute 26 left, so this now will be the final lap. I wonder if that's just a bit of a premature notification.
So Perry will be crossing the line 40 seconds or so after the 0 second mark is hit. And then drivers behind him, like you just saw Johnny Ashley behind, be another 10 seconds back, and if there's an M4 around, it'll be another 10 seconds back from then. So that'll be about a minute after the 0 second mark, so we might just see a little bit of drip of rains, but I think the drivers will be glad that they don't have to worry about the rainfall affecting them too much on the very last few seconds of the race, because it would be painful to get yourself in a great position. Say you're Ethan Scott, you've just got yourself a nice 5-second gap ahead of Ogsal and Felenko after a good fight, and then you lose it on the curb on the last lap on the last few corners.
Well, we do have, speaking of that fight between Ogsal and Felenko for the podium position, all still to play for as they now start their last lap.
Increased rainfall in 30 minutes.
Oh, spicy. Well, it's definitely not going to come. Might get a drizzle.
Podium celebrations in the rain.
Huzzah! Flashbacks to Hungary at Budapest. Always seems to rain there for some reason. It's either hot or absolutely soaking wet. Nowhere in between. Anyway, last lap.
So I swear Formula 1 just changes the weather. Because, say, over here, it's dry for ages, we don't have rain for ages, and then Formula 1 happens and it's
like rain,
torrential downpour, and it's like, well, where did this come from?
Where did this come from? Well, we'll say congratulations to James Perry and Reckless Lambo Team Racing. They may be reckless, but their win certainly proves them different. Congratulations on race win for the 2.4 hour of Silverstone for the Jimmy Broadbent community powered by oNiD Racing relaunch. Right, Ethan Scott is
just got a yellow flag between Wu and Jennings.
Oh. Yeah. They're both continuing for now. We'll stick with the top battle because they're still going at it. This is going to go to the line. Ethan Scott going to secure second, and that's pretty much a given. But Felenko and Ogsal will fight to the line. We'll stick with this. We'll keep an eye on the GT4s as well, because they'll be starting to see the checkered flag in a moment. And indeed, Johnny actually has seen the checkered flag, so that's P3 guaranteed for him.
Can probably unmute him as well.
I will do off this battle, because it's going to go down to the wire. I think Valenko's just going to lose out to oNiD as they come to the line, and that is that. Congratulations, oNiD and Valenko, fantastic. And the rain starts to fall. We see wipers wiping, and thank goodness.
Still just a handful of cars on track now. Got Revelaton, Castellas, Chasempor, Beton, Ristolainen, and Drocha and Prescott.
Yeah, absolutely. The rain is falling, track has gone too fast, so the greasiness is going to start, and the track has now just gone to greasy. So, anyone going to get caught out last minute? I don't think so.
Oh, Beton yellow flag.
Oh.
Was in the M2.
He's okay.
You can see it's starting to catch him out a little bit.
It is, but congratulations to John Beaton now as he comes across the line to take the race win for the M2s.
And 12 seconds behind them, Prescott to finish up in second.
And that
if Beton had a bit of a bigger whoops.
Yeah. And that, folks, is that. As my game
Worse, are you okay? Ooh, big lag.
Oh, very big lag. Yes, that was a big lag. And that, folks, is a wrap. Can we breathe yet? Let's unmute Johnny, shall we? Let's not leave him in exile any longer. Oh, I say that, my Discord is just frozen. We may just have to wait a minute.
Just froze.
Oh,
it's frozen again.
Discord's throwing a hissy fit right at the end of the race. Of course it is.
Oh, it's back. Hello.
Hello. You're just waiting for Discord to sort itself out and then we can unmute Johnny.
I think it's okay now.
I think it's okay now. I think we're safe.
That's what you think.
I wasn't referring to you. I was referring to Discord throwing a hissy fit. But hello anyway.
Hello.
Hello. Congratulations, P3 for you, sir. Well done.
Yeah,
well done to you both.
Yeah, it was good, and Trinket's first stint was mega. Even with the tyre error, he was like a dart for the first hour, and yeah, I managed to match his times that he did in the first stint, and managed to get P3. So no, well done, Trinket. It was a good race.
Oh, don't be so humble. You beat my time by half a second.
I didn't want to say it. But
Go get
I wasn't getting much pace
Jesus.
as I started in damn.
Yeah, you had the more difficult of the stints. I had a nice dry track and fresh new tyres. So, but I was matching the guys at the front for pace. Just Jelinek had an incredible lead. He managed to avoid everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. It was good. It was good. I'm absolutely knackered now.
I'm not surprised. It's been a pleasure, guys, and just to reiterate that Jimmy Broadbent has the community of Jimmy Broadbent has relaunched again here on oNiD Racing. And Johnny, you were going to say you had an announcement in regards to an event coming up at the start of the stream. Do you want to make that announcement, or is that something just preempting?
No, absolutely. We have got the first championship since relaunch is ready to go. It will be on Friday evenings, and it will be the 2.4 hours or 2.4 series of awesomeness, multi-class GT3, GT4, and it will begin on the 1st of September, so only a few weeks away. All the sign-ups will be out over the weekend, and we have some fantastic tracks. The likes of Hungaroring, Imola, Alton Park and Spa-Francorchamps for the 4-round series running through into October. So yeah, you look out for the sign-ups. That will be out over the weekend. And yeah, really good. It's great to have our first championship planned and getting underway. And we are back with the AC launch series, or launch race on Wednesday, with the Pragas and MX-5s rattling around Donington for 90 minutes.
Well, I can't wait for that because you have now roped me into that. I'm sold. You've got me. You said You had me
Yep,
going.
yep.
You had me going at Pragas and MX5 when you said Donington. I was sold. Completely
Absolutely.
sold.
Donington will be amazing. It'll be great to watch the some good multi-class racing around there in two of Jimmy's owned cars. So yeah, it'll be good.
Absolutely. Folks, it has been an absolute pleasure to bring you this stream of the relaunch of the Jimmy Broadbent Community powered by oNiD Racing. It's been a pleasurable 2.4 hours with you guys, and it has even been a much more pleasure to have the company of Bossman himself, Johnny Ashley, and Trinket the Tass. Guys, any last words before we sign off tonight?
Lots of fun, very good, yes.
Lots of fun, very good.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. It was really good, and thank you, Aidan, for covering it and doing 2.4 hours with a cold, or nearly 3 hours with the man flu.
Officially 3 hours 21 minutes and counting.
Brilliant.
I know, with the man flu as well, but we're all right. Bless you guys.
Now you get to rest your voice.
Until
Monday.
Until
Until-
Monday, until we are back with the Assetto Corsa Championship, the oNiD Mini Cooper Championship, and then straight after that on Tuesday, we're back at it with the Tornwagen Championship.
and then Wednesday you're at it. At
this point, you just own my soul. This is where it's going, you know.
It's exactly what it is. You become part of oNiD. I own your soul.
I don't.
Oh, no one told me. Crap.
Ha!
Sold your soul to the devil.
I've done worse.
God help us all. But it has nonetheless, I say sold our soul. It has been a pleasure to commentate and bring you the action tonight. Take care, guys. We'll be back live again on Sunday night. Not me streaming. I'm going to be taking a break on the Sunday. It will be Dominic Verut and I'm wonderful Johnny Ash again, leading the way for
Trinket, not me.
Oh, is it Trinket?
It's Sundays.
Sundays.
It's always Trinket on a
You're
Sunday.
Oh, is
Sunday.
it Sunday?
He is.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
He is Mr. Sunday Night.
He is Mr.
Yeah,
Sunday.
it's me and Dave Wrestle, but Dave is taking a 2-week period off, so I need someone to cover me.
Yeah,
So
Dominic
it
Verut.
is the American of Dominic
Yeah,
Verut will be covering. Yes. Sorry, Trinket the Tass and Johnny are so similar names. I got confused between the two. I know, right? How dare I? Guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Aidan, Johnny, and Trinket signing off from the stream tonight. Once again, relaunch the Go for Jimmy Broadbent Racing Community powered by oNiD Racing. Get involved, get stuck in, come and say hi. Until next time, bye bye.